Hello and welcome to First Responder Field in Onley, Maryland. I'm Carson Cash, joined by my friend Zach Lewis here today. We have got ourselves a 6 p.m. start here in Onley, as is tradition for them at their home field. That being said, we are raring to go. This is our second 6 p.m. start this year, as last time out the Big Train beat beat the Thunderbolts 27-13 in an absurd matchup where a position player ended up being the winning pitcher for these Big Train. Yes, they were down in a game. They won 27-13. A lot more to talk about that, but a lot more to talk about this game ahead of us, Zach. Landon Edwards, the man on the mound for this side of the Onley. He is a Woolwich Township, New Jersey native, headed to Maryland this year. He's the lefty sophomore out of Rowan College, rising into his senior year academically.
Yeah, played his 2026 year at Maryland. Only played in 3 games for them, so not quite getting as many opportunities as he'd like there, using this opportunity here in the summer. But getting 14 strikeouts there. Sorry, only starting 3 games, playing in 13.
Yeah, I know.
So looking to get more experience here with the Cropdusters of Onley and use this to boost his game started hopefully there for Maryland.
Big Train tailing off of a very big win. The Cal Johnson, the switch hitter, will start this one off. Last night, or I guess Sunday night, excuse me, he was 0 for 2. Not great. 5 walks. Pretty good with 2 RBIs. Scored 3 times. And this Big Train lineup hoping to keep their hot start as they finally have the arms needed to play the game they want to play. It's going to be very exciting, and I didn't really get a chance to talk to the players beforehand because somebody forgot the laptop. It was me. It was me. But 0-1 now to Cal Johnson as the lefty from Maryland, his teammate delivers. Johnson watches that one low. Goodness, it has been quite the quick turnaround here in the booth, but hoping for some more fast baseball.
Yeah, excited to be back here at OBGC Park. Fun farm and family-friendly environment here.
The 1-1 is inside the strike zone on the outside plate. Johnson takes as you're just tuning in only in their lumberjack plaid overall uniforms. It is a mock lumberjack with plaid with the red and black, obviously, as Cal Johnson lines one over the left side, but collected as the third baseman Barada comes up with it. He's second in the league in RBIs, and he's yet to make an error. A fantastic player for this Only Cropduster squad. We'll talk how they line up on that one. Logan Barada will start at that third base side. Hawkins and Donis Rodriguez make up the middle. Melton will start at that other corner. McNeil behind the dish out of Central Alabama. Walter, Grain, Duncan make the outfield up. So the uncommitted Grain, right field to the Duke of Duncan. He goes to Duke, so the Blue Devil of Duncan. And Walter, the Jacksonville Dolphin. That one in there on the first strike to Brennan Wright after Cal Johnson's lineout.
Carson, the Big Train do not have an official win against the Cropdusters yet this season, with the last game out getting suspended in the 7th inning after it started late with a rain delay. Big Train up 1 run there as that ball is high.
That game not over, so no career stats going in just yet, but
and being suspended because the lights go out at Shirley Povich there in the last opportunity. So Big Train really want to get a win against the Cropdusters tonight.
The 2-1 now as that one misses low and outside to the lefty batter out of South Alabama, Brennan Wright. He stands in with bright white cleats to match the Big Train's black socks, gray pants, and black jerseys with those green accents. 2-1 now. Lefty delivers as the southpaw's pitch is fouled back towards us.
And actually, interestingly, not only have they not beaten this Only team yet, the only team in the league that the Big Train have in this early regular season play is the Thunderbolts, beating them twice, both home and away.
Yeah, one time walk-off, the other time 27-13 on Sunday. Ground ball right side. Rodriguez will come up with it, and he will deliver it to first base. And it has accepted the invitation for an out 2 away, as that will bring up the likes of Logan Panett, the third baseman who had to play left field last night.
Yes. And he had a couple of weird vision spots there in left field, but hit very well in that game against the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, fantastic game for him against those Thunderbolts. 1 for 5, 3 runs, 2 walks, an RBI, and 2 Ks. Obviously, getting out 4 times is not great, but he still had a fantastic day with that RBI and that walk. 2 walks, excuse me. Came around to score, obviously, every time he was on. Just a fantastic day altogether for him on the 1-0 now as he takes that one low. Here comes the 1-0 from the southpaw, and he got all of this one, but just too high off the bat. Settling under it is Grain in center, and he will collect the third out. Big Train go up 3 and go down 3. We'll be right back in the bottom half of the inning on the Big Train Baseball Network as the Dusters look to get a crack at it. It's a new look for the Big Train. They get their first glance at the Sunset, Florida native Alan Solar. Redshirted his last year in 2026, but he's got himself a fantastic resume altogether before that. Obviously, Florida, a huge baseball state, and he was the number 3 left-hander out of the entire thing in the class of 2025, preseason All-American in Florida, all-region first team. Fantastic, and in the MVP pitcher of his region in his junior year and senior year. Majored in business communications at the University of Central Florida as the batter's Akai Hawkins from University of New Mexico stands in as this one skied into the air to left immediately. Under it is Foscolo. He just committed to New Mexico a few days ago. We didn't get to go through that. Played at Utah last 2 seasons. Goodness golly, a lot of words so far.
Yeah, things happening quick here. Game getting started right on time. Nice change for us Big Train folks who that hasn't been the case the last couple of games. So that's good there. But Solar there, not playing obviously in his first season at UCF, but definitely getting a lot of valuable experience at a really important and big program there at UCF.
His father, Ale Soler, played for the Mets a season. Had 8 games started for them. Was actually made his name pretty big in Cuba as a very well-known Cuban professional player, as he had a pretty good season with the Mets. I mean, not often you get a guy who has got a 6 ERA in the majors through 8 games. That is very hard to do. 1-0 to the next batter, Dylan Melton, the first baseman out of the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, or UMBC as well, better known. Soler delivers as we've got lefty on lefty matchups today for the pitchers. Lay will deliver. Now to Melton. He's got a pretty long draw between his pitches and a pretty quick wind. Goes from the stretch entirely despite being the starter tonight. Looks like he's likely out of the pen for his career, but obviously that's up to him and up to his coaches. He doesn't need to learn the wind. No pitcher does, technically. It's preferred. You get more power for some guys. 1-2. Melton in. Watches one skip, maybe 4 feet in front of home plate, off of the chest protector of TJ Gramesty. He'll be battery mates tonight. We'll go through the defensive lineup for the Big Train. As Ryan Foscolo in left, Jackson Mirza in center, Will Hack in the right field side, Machado at the shortstop side with right, and the middle decided Panett and Gonzalez at the corners. TJ Gramesty battery mates with Solar. So that'll start things.
Interesting, right? Kind of moving everywhere in that infield, playing all the different positions, kind of just filling in for wherever he's taking out in the lineup.
2-2 is ground to the left side. Panette picks it up, fires over to first. Gonzalez collects, and that will be a 5-3 to get out the second. Gonna bring up number 20 out of Duke University. You might have heard the announcer here who just threw the first pitch. It's Andrew Duncan, who's had himself a pretty good season so far. He's homered once, RBI total at 6, and a .313 average to pair with a .500 slug.
That's
He's got a lot of power in this bat.
Good start to a summer collegiate season for him. Redshirting his first season at Duke there, so not playing there, but coming out of Georgetown Prep High School, a good sports pillar in the DMV area.
Duncan out of Duke, his only home run of the season was a mash off of Capuano. Here comes the 1-0. Is that one in there? Good pitch from Solar.
Yeah, we watched that ball from him here in Big Train's first away match at OBGC. That one sailed over the fence here.
Now the 1-1, the pitch. That one outside, similar, but just not on the other section. Solar. A lot slower than I think some of these other guys were used to out of the pen. Here comes the pitch inside. A fastball delivery that is not too high. He kind of comes at I think a 10 o'clock rating, 10 o'clock angle, arm angle.
Yeah, it seems to be not going for just pure power, looking to more place and move the ball a little bit more around the zone.
The 3-1 now with nobody on. As that one misses low. Duncan will not be the third out of the inning. He issues a walk on the mound, as that will bring up Cade Walter. Walter himself a pretty good year so far. Hard to say without a guy who is currently tied for third in runs brought in at 7. 2 homers already this young season, a Little League and a over the wall. A double and a triple as well to his name. Got a lot of speed, hitting .313 with a .875 slug. 5 of its hits, only one of them has been a single. As that one is low to ball 1-2. Gramesty, who likes that pitch and lets him know, hey, we might go back to that. And a less patient hitter. Lefty Walter out of St. Cloud, Florida. He goes to Jacksonville University, which is quite close. Pick off attempt. Safe.
Cade Walter had a good night last time here against the Big Train.
Here comes the 1-0. Last night in their 15-4 loss against Gaithersburg. That one missed inside. He was 1 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. A pretty silent night for these bats. He only got 2 hits on Sunday, or 2 hits on Saturday as well. Only has kind of cooled down since their opening flare of offense. Big Train won 27-13 last night. Yes, you heard that right. Team collectively had 13 hits, walked 22 times, left 10 runners on base. But, a very good day, I'd say, altogether. Multiple guys with a lot of RBIs. Here comes the 2-0. That one inside. You're not missing too much action. What you are hearing is the excitement of a local softball game.
Yeah, fun for them, playing their start time actually the same as the game here at First Responder Field. So they participated in the national anthem as part of their game as well. Kind of cool to kind of give your game, a softball game, maybe a bigger field than normal. Kind of a fun experience.
Solaire, one of 2 UCF members, as the 3-0 comes. Fouled as he's got a green light into the softball field. It was between the first baseman and the right fielder in that field, but it's just on the actual opposite side. Nobody warming in the pen just yet. Looks like Kaiser Smith is getting slowly warmed up. He doesn't have his hat on, but is tossing. 3-1, runner on first. Pickoff, got him fooled. Ooh, didn't hang on to the ball. If Gonzalez had done it, that would have been a big out for the Big Train, as they're in a spot where they could walk Walter and bring up Donis Rodriguez, whose bat has not been fantastic for Onley, but could certainly and is definitely capable of moving the line down or walking. or walking, he runs in with a single. 3-1. That one way behind as he's behind a fastball.
Full count here for Solar. Big chance here for a strikeout.
Keep wanting to pronounce his name as Soler.
Soler.
Which is not how you would pronounce that, because there is no 3-2. Inside pitch, and he walks Walter. He'll go to first base. We'll move Duncan to second, and Rodriguez will be drawn to the plate. Rodriguez in 57 games at Millersville was fantastic. 276 average with a 410 OBP. Hard to sustain something like that with a 385 slug. 2 over-the-wall home runs, 32 RBIs. Very good season for the shortstop, typically, who's playing second here, as that operation is manned by the shortstop, Zakai Hawkins. He has got himself a lot of talent and was a Dominican summer leaguer. He is out of the Dominican Republic and Mao. That one, a strike, low fastball from Soler. I believe it is Soler. 0-1 from Soler. Inside. I'm going to go with Soler because fellow Angel Jorge Soler is Cuban and pronounces it Soler.
We'll make sure to ask him after this one.
It was spelled Solar on the lineup. 1-1 now. Runners in scoring position. They go. Everybody. Gramesty over to third. He got him. Another caught stealing for Gramesty here at First Responder Park on First Responder Night. Fantastic work for the battery of Soler and Gramesty. We'll be right back in the top half of the inning as the big train look to cut into this 0-0 tie. A windy night blowing in here at First Responder Park on First Responder Night for the Onley Cropdusters, who will start this top half of the inning facing the right-handed batter this time around, Daniel Machado. Machado is a switch hitter out of Florida Atlantic University. He's had a very good season so far, hitting .333 with a .520 OBP, .556 slug, so good for an OPS of about over 1,000. 4 doubles gets him there, 7 RBI. He's tied for third among all batters in the Cal Ripken Senior League. The lefty, Edwards, delivers the pitch. He's under a fastball at his eyes.
Last game there over at the Thunderbolts, drove 5 runs in.
Yes.
Incredible performance from him there, and what was a day that the bats really got going. Machado showing that he really is an important piece of this Big Train team this season.
He's very good, as the pitch also in there. Machado will watch. 0-2 the count. He went 2 for 4 with 4 runs, 2 doubles, 5 RBIs, 3 walks last night. Monster. 0-2. He lines this one into center field. After it is Grain. He'll give it to the right fielder, Duncan, who settles under it, as that will be the first out. Everybody retired so far for these Big Train as we enter the second inning with the first time this season the Big Train have gone down 4 up, 4 down.
Yeah, everyone retired, but every single one of them making contact with the bat. Not a strikeout yet for the Big Train batters.
To make that more clear, to start the game.
To start the game.
4 Big Train batters have gone down in a row previously. As Machado flies out to right, it brings up the lefty batter of Emilio Gonzalez. It's lefty-lefty, could be difficult for him. He leads this league in RBIs at 10 after his 6 yesterday.
Monster night from him, and didn't maybe have the huge start to his season maybe expected out of a player who has so much experience in this league, but just quietly doing his job and bringing runners home.
Yeah, he's been a good piece in this lineup as the 1-1 is lined into left. Just beyond the outfield of the softball field. They won't have to stop play. Bonner East notably on the bench tonight after his pretty good night last night. Will likely be used when they can find a spot. He's tied for second in stolen bases, 1-2. Here comes Edwards as the southpaw's pitch is delivered and fouled the same way a little bit further as Gonzalez struggled with some of these fastballs. Big Train playing only tonight. Has Metro South County at home at Shirley Povich tomorrow, the 1-2. As we talk about stats, Gonzalez, 10 RBIs. He's the leader in that statistical category. But Crease Jr. for the Metro South County leads the league in average through 6 games. 2-2 from the likes of Edwards is lined very hard into left. After it is the fielder Walter. It's in foul territory. He goes up and opens the gate as he bumps into it, but this one will land foul. I guess next time he can just go out there.
I guess he could run through that fence. It looks like it wasn't locked out there, so
He's
kind of a funny moment. Enters the bullpen over there for the Big Train, but Gonzalez showing there, I mean, we know what he has. We know the power he has, that ball carrying almost out of the fence back there, but just foul.
Yeah, would have died at the track. He's a bit more on that. He's late behind these fastballs from the lefty, which makes sense. From the angle, he's got a harder time seeing it. 2-2. Gonzalez will foul this one back as he stays alive with the count at 2s. 1 out in this top of the second. Gonzalez out of Nova Southeastern last season. Played 45 games there. 2s is fouled again, and he stays alive now ahead of a breaking ball. What's kind of caused him to have a strikeout, quote-unquote, problem, he's got 4 through 5 games, is being between pitches. He hasn't gotten everything that he's wanted to. He's a little ahead on all these breaking balls. He's a little behind these fastballs. Just needs to adjust to something and find something as the 2-2 from Landon Edwards. Misses inside, and fantastic work at the plate from Gonzalez as the count rolls full.
Yeah, that a tough pitch there. Just a hair outside of the zone. Gonzalez watching that one go by. Grateful that he's got himself to a full count here.
Gonzalez, a 412 OBP, 3-2. 412 with Nova Southeastern, didn't get to it. He's got a 423 here in his 5 games as the member of the Big Train. Both of these teams pretty much a game behind the rest of the league after that suspension of a game. No suspensions. Well, except the last time they were here. 3-2. Lined into left. It's going to get down before it can reach the glove of Walter, and Gonzalez finds his way to first on a single.
Nice 2-out single from Gonzalez there. Like we said, maybe not having as many big moments with his bats, but consistently making the kind of contact that he needs to get to a base. And that just finding the gap there over at third, and good spot for him to get onto first base.
That will bring up the likes of Will Hack. Last night, a Little League grand slam. Had an RBI, 3 RBI triple as he watches strike 1 on the inside portion. Hack bats from the right side. Wearing some maroon cleats, which I always wonder, probably due to his high school career, because he plays out of James Madison. And if you know anything about James Madison, not the color red, notably.
No.
No. 1-0 now to Hack. Pitch. Just outside.
Cropduster fans not really happy with that one, thinking that one crept into the zone, but a little outside here. Pitcher for the Cropdusters trying to find his way back from a 2-0 count.
Landon Edwards out of Maryland commit. He's committed there again. He actually played there last year. He did not ever enter the transfer portal. Committed from Rowan College to Maryland 2 years ago. That one low to Hack. Count will go to 3-0. Runner on first, trying to avoid 2 runners on with 1 out. The lefty southpaw in his denim. That one in there, if you're just tuning in. Only their home uniforms consist of a fake set of overalls and a plaid shirt. The plaid shirt is lumberjack plaid, so black and red, with a denim-looking pair of overalls, Joveralls. See what I did there?
Yeah.
The 3-1 to Hack. Pitch is grounded up the middle to the shortstop. Hawkins over to Rodriguez, back to first. He's out at first base. And a 6-4-3 double play gets the big train down. Only gets out of the jam, and we'll head to the bottom half of the second as the Cropdusters look to add and try and break the first tie. Donis Rodriguez will have a second crack at this one. He stayed on and got to a 1-2 count, and now he gets to restart against the pitcher Soler as the runner got caught stealing at third. Not ideal, as Andrew Duncan got a little advantageous and got behind the arm of TJ Gramesty, who's been fantastic. He's a smaller catcher. The battery made of Soler doing some work for him with 2 runners potentially in scoring position if he didn't get that one, as the first pitch from the left hand of Soler is inside to the ready batter Rodriguez.
Yeah, and Carson, I have to bring something up back from that inning. It was brought to my attention I maybe did not give enough credit to your coining the term of Joveralls.
Oh,
so
Joveralls?
it is good. I mean, overalls are normally denim.
1-0 lined into left, and the Joveralls break their no-hitter, I guess, as Donis Rodriguez is on. And again, not to cut your point off, as the Joveralls being the only Cropdusters. If you're just tuning in now in this bottom half of the second, they are in denim-appearing jerseys that have denim pants, a denim overall set, plaid shirt. Either way, Rodriguez going to break the no-hitter as Soler gives up a single. Has not retired his last 3 batters. Anyway, thank you.
You're welcome.
Who brought that to your attention, or did you just realize it? As the throwback to first base almost gets Rodriguez. A pickoff attempt from Soler. He has got a great move. Nearly caught Duncan earlier. Now Rodriguez is left spinning as his entire sliding mitt came off, and he's just going to leave it.
Loyal viewer at home brought it to my attention. I sounded very clinical, and I did not mean to.
Thank you to that loyal viewer. 0-1 as that one is in there from Soler. The 0-1 now, as the pickoff attempt is got Rodriguez diving. He's safe. Soler, 2 pickoff attempts now. No disengagement limit in this league. 0-1. Inside, and it hit him potentially. May have got the umpire. It did, as the likes of Logan Barada, who is second in the league in RBI, excuse me, as was kind of looked and started walking to first base, but I think he was just settling himself after seeing an inside pitch from Soler. The 1-1 now.
Yeah, that one a bit of a wild pitch, getting away from Soler there. Rodriguez able to advance to second base.
1-1, that one high and inside. As Barada is not out of Jacksonville University, but, you know, just transferred there, has a helmet. He is out of Jacksonville University, I apologize. I was thinking of Booma, Ryan Booma, out of Frostburg State. 2-1, Barada second in this league in RBI. This one fouled back towards us, a little bit towards the softball field. That one just under it. It's a fastball that he I couldn't tell if he was really late on it, but he certainly got under it. Soler's fastball has been a difficult piece for hitters, as his changeup is a different speed than his breaking ball, something that is about 50-50 in this league. Sometimes it just happens. You throw a curve, it'll drop. It's a little slower. Slider will tend to stay at that changeup rate as the 2-2 is grounded to the right side. Gonzalez gets it off a difficult bounce on the bag. Fantastic play, and that'll retire the first runner, Barada, as Rodriguez gets his way over to third. It'll bring up the Northern Kentucky University designated hitter tonight, Landon Springmeyer, a designated hitting catcher. Not too often you see that. The catcher of the game behind him, and Owen McNeil.
Springmeyer playing 2026 at Northern Kentucky.
A member of the Norse out there. Springmeyer, South Mountain Community College before that.
That ball is just on the outside of the plate for 1-0.
Pretty good year at Northern Kentucky. Saw himself to a 927 OPS as Soler prepares himself. The pinch with Rodriguez at third, 1 out. Inside and low as that one skips. A good save behind the dish from Gramesty.
So they're doing a good job not giving up too much hard contact, but we need to find the zone a little more consistently in this opening 2 innings.
Chillier day and Gramesty behind the dish has been pretty calm for this pitcher, Soler. Maybe just a preference thing. 2-0. It's their first time together this season. That one just outside. Gramesty is a spark plug, really, for this entire lineup. Very high energy catcher. Not missing any excitement here, folks. If you can hear the cheering behind us, a local softball game going on. I'll probably mention that a lot, as they are very loud. And they're cheering sometimes not matching up with the full call here. 3-0. Soler, the pitch. Just outside again, and a 4-pitch walk issued to Springmeyer. Springmeyer makes his way to first. Runners at the corners for the young Soler, who redshirted last season as a Central Florida Knight. Owen McNeil, the lefty catcher, will come in now wearing number 25. He's out of Central Alabama Community College. Had a good year last year there. 807 OPS posted. As threatening to go everywhere if another walk is issued. Here comes Soler, the pitch. That one just on the high portion of the zone. McNeil will watch.
Nice pitch there into the center of the zone.
Young season for McNeil. This is his 4th game played. He's hitting 143 with a 333 OBP. No extra slug than his average. 0-1. A fantastic pitch there. Kind of cuts a little bit towards the batter, as that one on the left portion of the plate. I'd almost call that a backdoor fastball. It seemed to just kind of creep in towards the tail end of the strike zone. 0-2. Pitch as the runner is nearly caught on another pickoff attempt. Soler has been fantastic with that move. It is very hard to tell as it comes halfway through his delivery. And they haven't learned over there at first, as almost every runner has gone for their secondary and is about halfway through it with their weight the wrong way.
Yeah, that one really close play there. Gonzalez getting the tag down well, but
Pitch is waved on. McNeil strikes out in 3 pitches, watches 2 waves at 1. It'll bring up Avery Grain, the center fielder, uncommitted 2025 high schooler. Grain stands in now on the right side of the batter box. One of the only members of this entire squad with black cleats that I noticed, other than Zakai Hawkins, who is the leadoff hitter. Grain, bright yellow bat. Pitch is low. No, strike, excuse me. Umpire had a bit of a tough time deciding.
just on the very bottom edge of that zone. Umpire determining it catch. Caught that bottom line there.
0-1, painted the black. Here's the pitch. That one skied into the air as a pop-up. Right chasing. He's got it. That will end the inning. 2 runners stranded as the big train will go ahead to the top half of the 3rd, drawn even at 0s. We'll be right back on the Baseball Network of the Big Train. Hello and welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. TJ Gramesty will lead things off for the Big Train after Owen McNeil struck out swinging in a pop-up from Avery Grain, ended Onley's side. First pitch, ground ball, as it's a bunt off the bat, is off the leg of Edwards. And not the ideal start as a bunt single for Gramesty. How about that? Very, very fast catcher who, you just don't expect any kind of catcher to be his height or have his speed, but it's a tool that he uses very well. And he's got as powerful of an arm as he does. He's a very quick pop time. That'll rerun the order to the bottom. One more as Foscolo will tail Gramesty. Top of the 3rd here at First Responder Park. Pitch just on the outside corner. Foscolo, a red shirt last year at Kentucky, wearing full Kentucky gear here other than his jersey, as he's got blue gloves, the blue shin guard that has his last name on it, and a blue elbow guard. 0-1. Ground up the middle. It'll be collected by Hawkins, going for his 2nd double play of the game. The runner is safe at first. So they can't advance the runner 60 feet or 90 feet as a close play at first leaves Foscolo on the bag. He'll get there on a fielder's choice. Probably not the best decision from Hawkins to try and take that double play himself, as it goes 6-3 in terms of order, and definitely was a little too far to get Foscolo.
Yeah, just was a little too slow getting to second base in order to flip that throw over in time to first, so Foscolo advancing there.
Jackson Mirza will come in the winning pitcher last night as the position player. Had a pretty good arsenal. This one, first pitch, fouled to us. Bats from the left side out of the University of South Florida.
He took an inning to get into that pitching rhythm, having not really pitched at all for a while, maybe since high school and club ball a little bit, but that second inning in, he was able to put the fastball in the zone, as that one is a wild pitch.
0-1 away and low, as Foscolo is going to advance 90 feet. Wild pitch. That is looks like a breaking ball or an off speed that just kind of got away in this third inning of work for Edwards.
Foscolo now standing on second base.
Landon Edwards, a New Jersey native, playing at Maryland. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Low. Not as low as the previous one. Last year, Edwards had a 15 ERA in 13 games at Maryland. Did a lot of cleanup work and had a lot of bad innings that were namely towards the end when he was trying to start. Was actually at a 3.8 ERA prior to coming out for the starting nod. 2-1. Lefty southpaw pitch in there as the count goes now to 2-2 on Mirza. Big Train 0-1 this season against Onley. We'll play them again next week at home. We won't see this Onley squad for the longest time. They will not see them all season, which is 8 days. 2-2. Runner goes at second, and no throw will be attempted. Foscolo uncontested. We'll have a stolen base at third and a very good opportunity now with a full count for Mirza to drive one home on a sac fly potentially at worst. Edwards as a sophomore at Rowan had a 2.68 ERA in 15 games. He'll deliver the 3-2, and it's high. He walks Mirza, and that walk will then turn the order over. Cal Johnson, the very talented DH so far this season, will be drawn to the plate. 5 RBIs, hitting at a 286 average, but notably the 524 OBP. He walked 5 times last night, so I guess the platinum trot.
Yeah, and Johnson has been a big slugger for the Big Train this season. The pitchers of Thunderbolts maybe respecting that last night and him just being patient, letting the balls just sail right past him. 4
hits this season, all extra base hits, as the 0-0 is missed low. Mirza able to steal pretty easily as he'll be uncontested to second base. So 2 in scoring position for the slugging switch hitter batting in the right batter's box. He's got Maryland gear as he's just committed there. College of Central Florida, Patriot beforehand.
Yeah, after 4 straight outs there for Edwards, maybe losing his rhythm just a little bit here.
Pitch, Edwards 1-0. This one skied very high into the air in right, will end up foul just beyond the bullpen in right field for Onley, right by the Cropdusters ambulance merch shop. One gone in this top half of the third inning, as Edwards really looking to get himself out of a jam here. Has done a fantastic job getting pitchers through this game. Have been Only as 1-1. Pitchers through the season only having kind of a tough time with the starters, but right after that, the second guy has been great, trying to move that trend the other way and keep these starters in for a while, as the Cropdusters would very much like that, as they have a scoreless game at the top of the third, trying to keep it that way. 2-1 count. Pitch. Inside, as this one, Cal Johnson drives into the center field wall as Grain picks it. It's an out there and a sacrifice fly to bring Foscolo home. 1-0 Big Train as Cal Johnson, another RBI and another at-bat without a single. The slugging switch hitter gets the Big Train on top.
Yeah, well, Cal Johnson not able to get quite enough power to bring that one into the fence or over. That hit being exactly what the Big Train could use in that situation. Foscolo gets home and Mirza goes over to third base.
Brennan Wright will trail him, the lefty out of South Alabama. He was second team All Sun Belt last season, first team All Cal Ripken the summer prior with the Big Train. Wright seeking what will be his Big Train career 34th RBI, standing at third potentially. 0-1 as he lines this one into the left field side. It's going to go just foul as it careens off the bullpen.
A little wake-up call for some of the pitchers over there, the Big Train.
Had Kaiser Smith up and kind of throwing. Very relaxed as the 0-2 with 2 outs. Edwards trying to leave this one with only 1 run. Ground ball right side as the pull hitter does pull that one. Second baseman Rodriguez comes up with it, and Melton is able to extinguish him at first with a good catch on a low throw. We'll be right back in the bottom half of the third. Big Train, 1 run on 1 hit. They have themselves the first lead tonight. Hello and welcome back to the Bethesda Big Train Baseball Network. I'm Carson Cass, as still on the mound, Alan Soler, out of the University of Central Florida, his father, Ale Soler. A 2006 Met, his only Major League season, but played a lot of years in the Cuban National Series, as he was fantastic from ages 20 to 22. In his 22-year-old season in 2002, he put up 2.0, a 2.01 ERA, with an expected, if even lower than that, struck out 100 batters in 125 innings. Was a Cy Young basically candidate there as the award in the adjacent award. Played some indie ball as well with the Long Island Ducks and the Newark Bears, as well as the Altoona Curve, where he played some Double-A, which was his last major league or minor league appearance. 1-0 to the batter, Rodriguez. Excuse me, the batter, Zakay Hawkins, who is back up after his teammate Crane went down. Crane popped out to short to end the second. Hawkins flew out to left in the first inning, 2-0. Right behind him, and he will earn a hit by pitch via the sliding mitt in his back pocket. Stuck out just enough, and it kind of goes off of that top portion. He gets to first on the least painful hit by pitch maybe ever. How about that?
Yeah, I mean, that one not really touching him at all, but he having the sliding mitt in his back pocket there, and it does graze that on that pitch that went behind him, so he heads over to first base.
That will bring up the lefty Dylan Melton. First baseman for Onley tonight. Has been the first base in just about every game for them. Out of UMBC, first pitch outside as Granamesty has to make a reach to make sure that one doesn't go wild. Okay, Hawkins on first. Take a moment as Gramsty comes back to his pitcher to talk to him through his third inning of work with the big train. He has retired every batter so far other than 3. Left 3 stranded. So far this game, 1-0 the count as Gramsty returns after a brief conversation with his battery mate. Big Trainer 2-3, same with Onley. Both squads down 2 games back to this Gaithersburg squad, who's had themselves one heck of a season, I think. In terms of, I really have to give them credit. I don't think they've gotten enough credit as a team that has done fantastic to start this year. Very hot, 1-0. That one just on the low portion of the plate. 2-0 the count. As Gaithersburg tonight taking on Silver Spring Tacoma at home. Big Train just put 27 on them on Sunday. That is the 3rd time this season the Thunderbolts have given up 20 or more runs. 2-0. That one low again, and the count 3-0 from Solaire as he tries and navigates this one. Going in the pen for the Big Train as they look to follow Solaire up as he loses some steam is going to be the likes of Nathan Wines out of Eastern Carolina. If you remember him, he had a very rough start, gave up 8 earned runs to this Onley squad to start his season, but recovered last time out on Friday against Southern Maryland, 3 innings pitched. 3-0. Pitches in there for strike 1 to Melton.
Good pitch from Solaire there, needing to find the zone and doing so well.
That quick pickoff move as the quick draw not fast enough. Hawkins at first was not that far off the bag, and he still almost caught him anyway as trying to distract the pitcher Solaire. 3-1. Under that one as he foul tips a fastball into the glove of Gramsty. 2 strikes as the count goes full on the wave.
Good job here, working himself back in the count. At 3-2, has the opportunity to get his 2nd strikeout here of the evening.
Full count, nobody out, runner on first. Fouls this one back towards the left side. Very behind a fastball and maybe just got a little under it. 3-2. They'll do their dance again here with the same count, same situation. Solaire, pitch. Kind of saw it off on that left side, but he's able to get it past the likes of Panett at third. Foscolo up with it in the left field corner and a single to move the runner to second and Melton to get on with a good base hit as the second run hit allowed tonight. As the Big Train will now deal with 2 on.
That's only Melton's 2nd hit of the season officially so far. So not swinging the bats too hard yet so far, but that one a good opportunity.
Just been walking a bunch. It's his 3rd game of the season tonight. Every game that he's played has been against the Big Train. As they will come out to talk, it's Lopez, the pitching coach, for the Big Train to talk a little bit to his pitcher, Solaire, see where his southpaw is against Walter or Duncan, then Walter, who are both fantastic hitters in this Cropduster lineup. The lefty will have to try and get through them if he wants to stay into this game. He'll start with Duncan, who is a righty, then to Walter, a lefty. It'll go to Barada after that if he can get all 3 of those, which will be a tough task to say the very least. He'll have to go through 2 righties who have been mashing lefty hitting this season, lefty pitching this season, and 1 lefty who's just been flat out unreal. And for this only squad, the middle of the order has just been bruising. Duncan, he walked his first time up and was eventually caught stealing to end the 1st inning, the last inning that had 2 runners of traffic, as this one has no outs as we start there. Gramsty will give Solaire the call. As a bunt shown from Duncan. Gonzalez comes in, popped into the air. Gramsty, he's able to get there, but no runners are able to be caught. Still an out as the pop out to the catcher. Trying to not say second baseman because it's a P2 on the scorebook. We'll bring up Cade Walter, the lefty. The left fielder tonight will have an opportunity to drive that runner in scoring position. Hawkins at second in, as well as move Melton up here. Again, Solaire's pitched well in scoring position situations.
It's a nice heads-up play by Gramercy there, getting under that one quickly as it's popped up just down the third base line.
First pitch, and just on the outside corner. Fantastically placed. Very good frame from Gramercy, as that one looked, I think, a little bit more in than it appeared. Got a good angle here at First Responder Field. It's on First Responder night. All first responders, free admission. The 0-1, both runners go. Gramercy will go to second this time. He thought he has a better deal there, but it gets into the outfield off the glove of Machado. A runner will get home as they almost get the runner at third as he advances as well. He will be in there as Walter will watch his two teammates steal two bags and then get one free one on the misplay at short.
And you know, that wasn't too far off of a throw from Gramercy there. It does take a weird kind of bounce right in front of Machado there at second that kind of takes it up and over his glove. Unfortunately there, a run scored for the Cropdusters.
Score tied at 1, runner at third, 1 out. Walter watches the second pitch low and away. Gramercy going to give him a bit of a moment here on the mound as Soler kind of in a jam. Unsure where that error would be on because it does go off the glove of Machado. We'll see and let you know what it's scored as in just a moment. 2-1. That one a well-placed breaking ball as he will go down on strikes. The 1-2, excuse me, because that first pitch ended up being called a strike. I had that down as a ball, and a good surprise here for us in the booth as Soler gets a situation now where he doesn't have to worry as much about the runner on third. Walter strikes out looking. Rodriguez will be brought up, singled his first time up in the second inning, as this one has gone around in 2.
Like you said, that strikeout there relieves a lot of the pressure on this at-bat for Soler, just needing to find it out to take him out of this inning.
It's on the air towards that shortstop side and a line out to Machado as the first pitch. He just kind of gets under and saws it off into the air. They escape the jam and strand with just one runner. They do let one home on one hit. We'll be right back after the Dusters tie this one and the Big Train get a second shot at breaking this lead in the top of the fourth. Welcome back to the top of the fourth. We'll do something that I've decided we were going to start. I'll do some baseball headlines in the news today at the start of the fourth, fifth, and sixth inning. And I guess we'll start with one that's pretty local to me. The number 21 MLB prospect called up today for his debut against the Atlanta Braves. Chicago White Sox outfielder Braden Montgomery, as we'll go to the top half of this fourth inning. Big Train will be batting as Panette will take the first pitch from Edwards, who remains in this game, as he thinks about a bunt, leaves it back. Panette not a huge speed threat so far this season, but definitely has it in him. He stole 31 bases at his season at Gaston that ended up with him committed in the offseason to George Mason.
Yeah, big season for the Rhinos for him, and hoping to bring and get into a little more rhythm with his at-bats here with the Big Train.
Now the 2-0 from the lefty Edwards. Big wave at that one. Panett was trying to take that one all the way to Baltimore, as he is just behind a dropping off speed at his knees. Two-one. Ground ball left side. Baltimore is actually be south. Well, not south, behind us. So I guess he's trying to hit it to DC. I guess on that topic, Gray's hosting Alexandria tonight, one of the other games tonight, as Metro South County will take on Southern Maryland before they come to our place tomorrow night. 2-2 pitch just outside, and the count runs full on the George Mason Patriot, Panett.
Excited for tomorrow. The Big Train going to see their first look at Metro South County at Shirley Povich.
3-2. Ground ball left side, gets through that 5.5 gap, as Tony Gwynn called it. Fantastic piece of hitting there as Panett singles his way on with a hard hit one that neither Hawkins or Barada can get up to.
And just mentioning he would love to get back in the hitters category there, and a nice piece of hitting. Has enough speed to take it through past the shortstop and gets himself a good single.
I guess if you're curious, the 5.5 hole was, I guess, kind of called by Tony Gwynn between positions 5 and 6 at third and short, if you're unfamiliar with baseball scoring. Daniel Machado, the switch hitting shortstop, will come into this one from the right side as Edwards still on the mound, the lefty. This one in the air to right field. It is a mashed ball in the deep reaches as this one careens off the wall. Right fielder Duncan able to get it as the runners are in at second and third. A double for the likes of Machado here to start this fourth inning with 2 in scoring position before an out comes.
Yeah, great hit there from Machado. His bat has really just continued to warm up here for the Big Train. That one with a little bit of curl on it, but stays straight enough to not go into the right fielder's glove out there near the fence in center field by the flagpoles here at First Responder Field.
Wind is coming in. That one kind of goes way closer, I think, to that right fielder than he had expected. Either way, Gonzalez, the 6'3 lefty, will come in with 2 runners in scoring position. 6 RBIs last night. This one ground ball right side, collected by the first baseman, who will not have time to throw it back home. And an RBI ground out for Emilio Gonzalez as he goes down 3 unassisted, but will allow the runner to score. Panett and Machado advancing to third, with now only an out.
Yeah, one more run there for the Big Train. More effective hitting here than we've seen most of the season in scoring position for the Big Train. Love to see more runners being brought across while the bases are being filled up.
Big Train's second in the OBP category in the entire league, only behind the North leading Gaithersburg squad. First pitch to the next man up, Will Hack, the James Madison product, who had a Little League Grand Slam last night, as he got an RBI triple and an error sent him home on the same play.
Exciting matchup against the Thunderbolts, and that probably the highlight of the night there.
Pitch low as the off speed is not collected by Hack. He's kind of really been disciplined this season, especially against pitchers who have kind of struggled in the vertical accuracy. Pitch, and the lefty is able to get the zone as the left hand went up first. I think was going to accidentally call it a strike because he said strike twice with his left hand, which would be a ball, but he would have to say strike. 2-1, runner at third for Hack. Ground ball over to that left side. Third baseman Barada will decide to go to first. So another RBI ground out as he goes down 5-3, but does extend this Big Train lead now to 3-1. Not to 3, it's a 2-run lead. Either way,
yeah, doing a good job making contact there while they have their runner on third base. That one, maybe making the wrong decision there to not flip it home and stop the runner from scoring, but ball getting away from Edwards a little bit there.
That one low, the 1-0. Ground ball left side as the shortstop just can't get it. Again through that gap on the left side of this dirt infield. A fantastic piece of hitting. Puts it in the perfect spot, and Gramesty keeps the line moving with his second single of the night. He is now 2 for 2. How about that?
Yeah, that one hit in pretty much the same spot past the shortstop there. Able to find another runner over to first base.
Foscolo will come up now. He is 0 for 1 on the day. He reached on a fielder's choice. Got a stolen base tonight. Runner on first now, 2 gone. Outside and high. Looks like Onley's Edwards is maybe losing it a little bit here. He is a Landon Edwards, the 6'1", 215 rising senior at Maryland. A New Jersey native. Played 2 years at JUCO, so eligibility-wise, maybe a little bit lower than a freshman academically, as that pickoff is immediately right past the first baseman, who did not think he was going, as he just kind of stood there. It went right by him. The rare lefty first baseman, and the reason you don't see it is because the reason you do see it is because it's a lot easier to extend, especially for the second base side, but it can be very difficult on pickoff attempts if it's thrown the wrong way and it goes the exact wrong way. Can't barehand that one, as Landon Edwards' error advances Gramesty to second. Foscolo now will stand in again on the 1-0, as I don't imagine Gramesty will see too many pickoff attempts. He will go to third. Runner on the way. It's almost over the head of the likes of Barada, who does a fantastic job. Looked like Michael Jordan getting up for that one.
Barada making an incredible play there to save the run. TJ Gramesty advancing over to the third on another steal over there to second base. The first one being an error. Of course, what a leap from Barada there, showing his vertical. I don't know many baseball players that have that kind of vertical.
Pitch lined in the air to right field. It's a very hard hit and very foul, as that one makes its way all the way over to the pavilion. There, that one is absolutely gone. And a missile at that. That one would have just screamed over the wall. Foscolo now, he's a righty batter. He's got an orange bat. Standing on the 2-1. Ground ball left side will be another chance for Hawkins as he collects, fires, and puts away the runner. Foscolo will be right back in this bottom half of the inning as the Big Train put up 2 runs on 2 hits, driven in by 2 ground outs. Cropdusters try and strike back. And it's a Pirate on the mound as the day will end for Solaire. Bringing up Nathan Wines. Solaire's day ending with 3 innings pitched, 2 hits allowed, only an earned run given, and 3 walks on 2 strikeouts in his, not his major league debut, excuse me, his Cal Ripken Senior League debut here. The UCF product doing a fantastic job from the southpaw side as it brings in Wines, who gave up 8 earned runs his last time against this Onley squad. Recuperated on Friday, but he'll have a little bit of an issue tonight. They know him very well. Every batter in this lineup has seen him other than 2. Like a Barada, he's 0 for 1 on the night.
Now batting for your Cropdusters, the third baseman, number 8 from Jacksonville University, Logan Barata.
will bring up Logan Barada, as I mentioned a moment ago, the Jacksonville University Dolphin. Where number 8 is second in this league's RBI total, only behind the man at first for the big train, Emilio Gonzalez. Barada was well within the lead with 3 starting last night above anybody else. Then Gonzalez had 6 against Silver Spring as the big train defeat Silver Spring Tacoma with a calm, relaxing football score of 27-13. 0-1 as Wines' pitch is in there. Hawine quickly pitch. Line in the air to right as Hackle just let it drop in front of him, and a good single to lead things off here for Onley.
Batting next, the designated hitter, number 15 from
Northern Kentucky's Landon Springmeyer will come in. He walked his first time up. Designated hitting tonight from the right batter's box. From Gilbert, Arizona, naturally. Very determined freshman to make his way to the East Coast as he's done his full round. From Arizona all the way to Maryland. Freshman at South Mountain Community College, was very good. Played his sophomore year there as well. And just finished his junior academic season at Northern Kentucky. South Mountain is in Nevada, excuse me, as the first pitch in there for a ball. Wines will take a look at the runner before giving the 1-0 inside and high to Springmeyer. Springmeyer 0 for 0 on the day, walked in the second. Wines entering this one with a 3-1 lead as well, so he's got Soler in possession of the win. 2-0, he'll defend it. This one skied in the air and right. It's a pretty deep fly ball as the wind subsides for a moment, allowing it to get to the track, but collected by Hack anyway. As Springmeyer flies out to right. You know, he just kind of gets under a fastball there and can't really capitalize on it. That one definitely could have left as the wind blowing very hard in. Kind of subsides a little bit towards us, goes a little bit towards the right there, and just not enough power into it as the lefty, Cade Walter, the left fielder teammate of Barada, will be up. That one just on the outside portion of the plate. It's a ball.
Most of these players used to a little more zing off the bat from the metal bats that they do use in college as well, so the adjustment here to the wooden bats.
1-0 as the runner will go at first. TJ Gramesty is unable to come up with a opportunity to get the runner who does steal, as Barada is in there at second base with a stolen bag as a double clutch stops Gramesty, and he will take a brief moment to talk to Wines about the situation. The Pirate trying to make sure things don't go as rough as they did last time. (2-0) the count as Gramesty will return from his meeting. Brings up Owen McNeil, the lefty catcher out of Central Alabama Community College. He'll take the 2-0 now. Pitch, runner at second. This one skied backwards, fly ball towards the softball field. As Wines on the right side will be the first righty this game has seen in the bottom of the fourth.
Both parks here having to be heads up as foul balls from both sides could make their way into the other park.
2-1, it's Grain on deck. That one outside as Gramesty gives the cool down motion to Wines, who is trying to pitch like he did against Southern Maryland a mere week of work ago, and against Onley was a lot more difficult. 3-1 on this cool day. This one is a very high fly ball to center field. Under it is Mirza. He collects. Runner will pretend to go as Machado collects the cutoff, and the second out of the inning from McNeil. As Grain drawn up with 2 gone. Avery Grain will come up into this one. righty batter for Onley. A little late addition to the squad. He is from the area of Onley. 4 games this season, hitting .250 with a .300 OBP, .500 slug under it, as he has a triple in 10 appearances at the plate. First pitch from Wines as the big lead from Barada at second. Nobody keeping him on, as Wright coming to do so now in the second pitch.
Avery Grain and I actually attended the same high school.
You know the guy?
Grutter High School graduate.
1-0. Wines' pitch is pretty high, pop up on the infield. Gonzalez will go after it in foul territory right at the dugout, and the wind keeps Grain in this one as it very, very briskly keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed, and then off that foul netting. Gonzalez had a great beat on it, but just kind of tips the netting right at the very end there, and doesn't fall in the glove, but is anyway a foul ball.
Yeah, a decent breeze here in Only, making it a little harder to track exactly where the ball is going to land once it gets up in the air.
Count is 1s for Grain. He's got one in scoring position, 2 outs, trying not to strand the 5th runner of the game. Runner goes inside. Gramisty, a missile from behind the dish. Safe as a fantastic slide from Barada. Looks like he went swimming as the Dolphin is able to go pretty athletic there with his left hand and call it up and make his entire body flip over on its back.
Great dive by him in there. Smooth as a sea animal into the water.
Sea creature. 2-1. That breaking ball is inside again to Grain, and the count will go to 3-1 as Wines struggling with that breaking ball here with the runner at now third on his second stolen base of the inning. Pirate on 3-1. Grains did go around on the 3-1. He kind of goes halfway, and his elbow drops enough to put the bat right in barrel territory. And that is the full count. Now, payoff pitch, they'll dance here, as they will also dance in the 5th inning. They do the Cotton Eye Joe as a team during the 5th inning stretch, I guess we'll call it. 3-2 now. Payoff. Looking for a jackpot as Wines. Ground ball left side, it's hard hit. The gliding dud of Punnett gets him. The dive on that glove. Fantastic work from the former Gaston College Rhino, committed to George Mason, as I replace 2 words with the other. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network as they escape this bottom half of the inning without any runs given. Runner stranded at third. Hello and welcome back. I'm Carson Cass beside Zach Lewis. New man on the mound is Brennan Tomhave. He's out of Pittsfield, Illinois Wesleyan, as he has done a fantastic job last season with the Warriors, a 6.13 ERA in 40 innings. Much lower prior to that, as a lot of these guys kind of just ran out of gas in their younger seasons towards that end portion. Brennan Tomhave is no different. in his second season at Illinois Wesleyan. He started 4 games, went 40 innings, obviously, as I mentioned. Struck out 37 of them, had a .206 batting average against. A good year for him as he will relieve the good work that his lefty teammate Edwards has just done. Edwards will leave this game with 4 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and no strikeouts, as he did all on the ground and in the air. That'll also bring up Jackson Mirza for this side of the big train. First pitch from Tom Have is inside, a low off-speed pitch.
Yeah, Edwards doing his job getting through 3 innings there.
That one ball just on the outside. Good fastball from Tom Have, but doesn't get Mirza to go. The 2-0. Righty pitches. That one just outside again, as Tom Have will be from the right side. Obviously difference from the last pitcher, Edwards. Mirza, the lefty batter, will watch 4 pitches and will walk with no contest over to first base. Good job from him for the tail end of this lineup. We'll bring up the top, Cal Johnson, the slugging defensive hitter tonight. Designated hitter, not defensive hitter. Excuse me.
Yeah, nice RBI for him last time up at bat, doing his job, getting the ball deep into the field and allowing the runner, Toscolo, I believe it was, to come home.
0 for 1 with a crushed line out to third base and that sac fly RBI. First pitch to Johnson is on the inside, and 5 straight balls to start Tom Have's appearance, as Onley not too happy as this dugout continues to chirp. 1-0. And I say chirp specifically because they've been singing. 1-0, he's way under that fastball.
Yeah, and you're mentioning the chirping from the dugout there. This is the 3rd time we played this Onley team, and so far this season they've been definitely a rowdy bunch.
Yeah, they're very passionate about the game very clearly, and you obviously respect how hard they play. This Onley squad is a unbelievably difficult team to go on the road against. They make it rowdy. They're definitely going to fight back, even when you're down 5, as we saw. They had 11 unanswered in the first game between the big train and the Cropdusters. After a 7-2 lead, the game would end 13-7, their side. Johnson will stand in after fouling that one up and away. Mirza at first. Stolen base threat. 1-2, Tom Have. The pitch, runner goes for it on the throw. Did get him! As they say, he went off at the end there. A fantastic throw from the likes of McNeil catches Mirza, who's not so sure about that one, but you have to say McNeil's just a perfect dime.
Yeah, there seemed to be a little bobble in the glove of Rodriguez there at second base, but went off the base a little bit, I guess, there at the end, Mirza, so able to
pitch inside and high, as Johnson has walked so many times this season that he's looking for his 6th in 2 games. Hasn't even walked tonight, which is the more absurd part about that stat. 3-2 is back towards us. It doesn't make it over the fence. Pretty close. On the foul from Johnson, who is in the left-handed batter's box for the first time tonight, the switch hitter in his 3rd plate appearance. He's got the first time to go lefty. He's crushed in all of his hits except 1 out of the 4 are from this left-handed box. Is this one raised in the air to left? Walter after it. He'll get it in foul territory as Johnson will be taken as the 2nd out on the fly. Brennan Wright will come to the dish now. The lefty will go against his least difficult side. Pretty good splits as a South Alabama Jaguar last season against the righty pitching. Very, very heavy pull. Has grounded out to the second baseman all of his groundouts other than 1 where he grounded out to the 3rd baseman this season. Went for a bunt attempt there on the first pitch and didn't get it. 0-1. Here comes the next pitch. Just low from Tom Have. So word that Avery Grain, we'll talk a little bit more about him in a second. 1-1. Way under a breaking ball. A good pitch, fooled right. Avery Grain actually goes to Wabash Valley Community College in Mount Carmel, Illinois, which is not too far from me. 1-2. Wright trying to stay alive. He lines this one into left. Good piece of hitting from Wright on the 1-2 fastball that he just pokes over the head of the shortstop Hawking. And a fantastic piece of hitting will keep this ring of fire rolling.
Yeah, makes good connection with it there and able to get enough speed on it up and over the third baseman's head there and drops nicely for him to advance over to first.
It's a good hit on a fastball that kind of reached out for it. Bring up Logan Panette. The diving glove last time got the out to end the inning and save a run from coming across. Great play from the infielder who had to play outfield last night. Sunday. Last night was Monday. We had no game. 1-0. Tom Have the pitch. This is all gone instantly. Every piece of that ball losing the stitches. Panette deep to left field in a home run. Tattooed that thing.
Phenomenal hit there from Panette. That one right off the bat, you could tell it was out of the park. I mean, that just had the speed and power to just take it way up and over the fence.
5-1 now for this Big Train squad. Just a low fastball, and he played golf with it. Drive into left, no doubter. Hercules fence is the ad that he hit it right over, and immediately the left fielder Walter just kind of turned and stared right at it. Didn't even give it the courtesy run. Big Train up 5-1 here. 2 more runs as they have scored the last 3 innings and are adding on to their lead. Machado then brought up by that homer. 1-0. Inside to Machado, who just narrowly escapes a fastball to the ribs.
And I believe that means that this park here at OBGC for the Cropdusters is the only park that the Big Train have hit out of yet this season.
That is true. Cal Johnson hit a homer here on the 13-11 loss 6 days ago. And that is the second over-the-wall home run of the season, 3-0. He hit it into the wind. The wind was pulling that one towards where he was standing as the 2-1 is watched for ball 3. Here comes that 3-1 on the inside again, nearly another fastball to the ribs. Machado out of the way again, earns himself a walk as Panette's homer brings in the likes of Mirza for the scoring purpose. Bring up Emilio Gonzalez. The left-handed batter now, reigning Triple Crown winner, first ever in league history. As well as the reigning 2025 outstanding hitter, Machado at first for him. First pitch on that outside touch, good fastball.
Machado already finding some success tonight with a sac, RBI, and a single.
Machado at first. 0-1 is lined into left. It will get down between the likes of Grain and Walter. Misplay from Grain in that left field side. Gonzalez will get more than one. Machado will come home. No throw. He is uncontested to the plate, and an RBI double as it just gets under the likes of Machado's glove. 6-1 the lead for the Big Train now as a looked like a poke center that would just leave the runners at first and second. Results in a lot more as Grain tried to go for a janitor throw.
Yeah, going for the unconventional throw and just not quite getting it off there for Grain in the field. And Machado scoring another run for the Big Train, continuing to be effective with runners in scoring position and on base.
Scored once tonight, was stranded in that fourth, was the runner at third on that fourth inning. And 1, 2, 3 the last 3 innings, 4 runs on that Big Train side with 2 outs. They will have a talk with Tom Have, who's given up 3 runs this inning after 4 innings of good work from the starter Edwards. Not ideal for them. They're behind in this one, but obviously you note with more arms in this Big Train pen, you don't really feel like a comeback is as possible as it was when the Big Train only had 3 pitchers they could throw with against Onley previously.
Yeah, luckily for the Big Train, the hitting is together, and we've talked about getting both of the pieces of your game together. Hitting definitely here for the Big Train, and hopefully the trending of pitching being better for this staff will also hold true for them to be able to hold out and win this one.
0-0 count now will go to Will Hack. He's 0 for 2 today with a RBI ground out. Fantastic last night. He's a very calm, collected, sweet guy. First pitch. He grounds to the right side, right in that gap. Rodriguez will dive. He cannot get there. Rodriguez will watch as Gonzalez will try and come home, and the throw very wayward from the backing up Duncan. As that dive just not there in time. And an RBI single for Will Hack as Gonzalez scores from first. How about that?
Yeah, Gonzalez not the runner who typically will take his extra bases, but there, seeing the opportunity with the missed throw and just jogging his way across home plate. 7-1 here for the Big Train.
Wheels for the big likes of Gonzalez, who not a stolen base threat, has 2 on the year and hasn't been caught, and just scored from first. So kind of underrated Wheels, as that will bring up TJ Gramesty. He started part of that rally earlier and ended up being stranded at second. Hit a single and a stolen base. He's done a good job tonight. He is 2 for 2. As he will come into this one watching the first pitch from Tom Have. TJ Gramesty, a top 1,000 player last year in MLB The Show, as he is caught by a pitch right on the lower portion of his elbow guard. Exactly where you want to get hit. Doesn't even brace any kind of pressure onto the rest of your arm, and he will reach first base as the 7-1 lead at danger of getting worse for this Duster squad, who is got runners on first and second with Foscolo up.
And Gramesty there over at first base for the 3rd time tonight, hitting 2 singles, one of them being a little bunt, and over there again with a walk here.
Yet to be extinguished tonight. First pitch now to Foscolo, the Kentucky redshirt last year. The Wildcat had a pretty good year for these Big Train. Has not had the bat he's wanted to in previous games, but went 3 for 6 last night with a walk, 2 strikeouts, scored twice. This is his 5th game of the season. He's hitting .333 with a .412 OBP and a .467 slug on a pair of doubles. 1-0 now from Tom Have. Inside, he's been really struggling on that inside portion of the plate to both lefties and righties. Foscolo, a righty. Nearly hit everybody so far. Foscolo spent 2025 this summer with the Delray Beach Lightning, where he had a slash of .290, .417, and a .380. Only hit 6 doubles and 100 at-bats there, so he's definitely got some more power as he's behind the 2-0. Fastball right down Broadway, but just between 2 speeds there.
Yeah, and that was definitely the opportunity to swing for Foscolo there, not quite getting his timing right, but that one, if he made contact, would have been a perfect one to get a ton of speed and power out into the back of this park.
Ground ball right side. It's kind of towering as it hits right in front of the plate and gets all the way into the outfield before hitting the ground. An RBI single as Hack comes home, and Gramesty advancing to second. Big Train have officially batted around in this inning as we head to the order start. Once again, Mirza, who got this thing started with a walk.
Not really your typical single there from Foscolo. That one taking multiple bounces, but they're just in awkward places enough that the Cropdusters struggling to bring that one in field, and he gets over to first base.
Foscolo hit a ball directly in front of home plate that bounced all the way in the air. Did not bounce another time before it hit the grass of the outfield, so that's a weird one. That one skied backwards as the first pitch to Mirza is towards the softball game. As the 0-1 will bring Gramesty all the way home, but he'll have to stick the slow trot back as it was a foul ball. 8-1 this lead now for Bethesda.
That one actually hit into the outfield of the softball field by Mirza.
Fly ball left side down the line will end up in the Big Train bullpen. Tom Have trying to get out of this inning. He's given up 5 runs in the top of this 5th. pitcher duel to this point. As the 0-2 to Mirza, he's way behind a fastball, and that will end it. The side is retired finally as the Big Train put up 5 runs on a collective 6 hits. They have 8 total on the night. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network as Onley will try and commit another comeback against these Big Train. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Nathan Wines will enter his second inning of work. He'll face a dangerous batter, Zakai Hawkins, who's leading this thing off for the Cropdusters. Hawkins, a new University of New Mexico commit as a few days ago, played his last 2 seasons at the University of Utah prior. He'll go Villalobos. First pitch, he's from Las Cruces, New Mexico. The 1-0 now as Wines' pitch misses, and they'll return it back. Difficult for Wines to try and come into this one with a lineup that has seen a lot of him, as he saw a total of 15 batters his last time up and was responsible for the loss as he gave up 8 earned. Good redemption on Friday. He's trying to go for it here as the 1-0 misses inside. The batter watches one on the right by his elbow. 2-0, good hitters count for Hawkins. Shortstop stands in 2-0. He lines this one into left as be a quick trot for Foscolo, who's able to just walk in on that one. Hit right to him as that will retire the first batter in this one. I'll bring up Dylan Melton, the UMBC Golden Retriever first baseman. Nathan Wines entered this 4th inning and handled this lineup pretty well. Gave up a single and 2 stolen bases, but apart from that, nobody got on. He's retired the last 4 batters he's seen. As pitch 1 is a ball right at the knees and inside to Melton. Here comes the 1-0 from Wines. Pitches outside as 2-0 to the first 2 batters of this bottom 5th. A recap for that top of the 5th, which we never got around to the MLB news. I guess I'll talk about the Athletics and Brewers game, which went all the way to 2 a.m. Eastern. 15-14 extras top half walk-off as the Athletics are playing for the first time at their Las Vegas ballpark. As another watched pitch from Melton. Count will go 3-0. Pretty absurd game. Shea Langoliers hit a 483-foot home run into left center. 3-0 now from Wines, as Melton will watch strike one. Melton, a fantastic player last year as his freshman year in eligibility as a retriever. 3-1 is line down the line. Count will go full. He was a 2026 America East second-team all-conference member at the first base position. 2026 American East all-rookie team as well, obviously, in his first season, as he was also on the all-championship first team. UMBC won the American East, or almost won the American East. 3-2 now, full count to Melton. Lefty first baseman fouls this one back. Melton this season before tonight. 2 games, 167 average, and 44 on the OBP department. He's been walking a lot in his 3rd game of the year, technically 4th, if we're counting the suspended one on Saturday between Onley and Bethesda. They dance on the 3-2 after they danced in the stretch inning. Into the air and left, as Foscolo will not be able to get there, as he is just behind that one. Melton now will face pitch 7, drawing a pretty good at-bat here. Hoping to extend it longer. I'm pretty sure Melton thought that one went fair. He's kind of just standing at first. I don't blame him. Pretty close call. Unable to tell completely if you're at first.
That one just dropping. Foul on the left sideline. Melton back in the full count at the mound. As we hear lots of cheers going on from the softball field next to us.
Yeah, I think somebody is making an unreal comeback. I'm trying to keep track of that game as well, but there's no scoreboard. 3-2, full count to Melton. He's perfect in the field in his first season at UMBC as well. 3-2 poked in the air to left. He gets it just over the head of Panette and a single after the 7-pitch affair. Melton, a fantastic job there to get his way on after a difficult 3-0 at bat where he lost that advantage. Went full count, fouled 2 back, and fought on to a single and left.
But Melton maybe manifesting his single there, advancing early when he thought the ball was in play before, and it just drifted foul, and that one drifting on the other side of the foul line and down for a good single from Melton.
Take it till you make it, parentheses to first. As it'll bring up Andrew Duncan, the Duke product. He has played in 4 games this season, redshirted for the Blue Devils last year of the ACC. Duncan in a difficult outfield to try and break into. Duke has got a good group out there. 0-1 as the first pitch is in there from Wines. Pitch now just low as he watches a curveball grab some dirt. Wines is the first arm out of this pen for the big train. One of the first of many, as they have a real bullpen now with a lot of guys coming back today. 1-1. Wines with a runner at first and an out. Missile down the line. The worm burner gets past Panette. Runner from second will go to third as they try and catch the one at second. Nobody will advance, though, beyond what they were given, as the third base now runner. And Melton will have one at first as well, as Duncan, gets a single into left.
Duncan crushed that ball. I mean, it had plenty of speed coming off the bat, close to the third baseman there, but just with too much power for him able to make a play there. And runners now on the corners for the Cropdusters in a good position to maybe get a score in here with only 1 out.
Wines will do more stretch work out of the pen with a lot on the line. Some pressure with another runner at third. Runner at first goes. They don't acknowledge the stolen base there, as Duncan will be in there uncontested at second. So now third and second. 2 runners in scoring position for Cade Walter, who just watched a ball low.
Yeah, ball just getting stuck in the dirt there a little bit for Gramercy, not able to make that throw over to second to stop the stolen base.
Walter 0 for 1 on the night. He walked in his first appearance. 1-0. Pitch is just in there. It's a good strike. Hard, firm fastball that you know, you just, for the squad of Onley, really didn't hit that well even in that game where Wines gave up 8 earned runs. Only 2 hits allowed from Wines, or 5 hits allowed, excuse me. All of those coming after he had gone beyond a pitch count that was sustainable for his velocity as the 1-1 misses outside. I believe it's 2-1. Don't think he called that. It is 2-1. As here comes that pitch from Wines. Pop up in the air. Center fielder Mirza will jog towards it. Good enough for a sac fly attempt. Runner will come home. Mirza's throw will be cut off by Gonzalez as it's far left. And a run will come across. They'll plate at least 1 here in this bottom half of the 5th inning to decrease that lead to just 6.
That ball high up in the air and drops about the middle of the field. Easy out there for Mirza, but does allow the runner Melton to get home.
Dominican native Donis Rodriguez, the second baseman, will come up. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Lined one out to the shortstop side to end the 3rd and strand a runner. It's actually strand 2, as that one is just outside. TJ Gramsty thought about throwing back to second. Ultimately decided wasn't worth it. Rodriguez on the left side of the batter's box. Winds a righty. Pitch. And that one low and inside. 2-0 hitters count for Rodriguez, who is looking to get some power behind that bat. He's very good at bunting. And now on a 2-0 count, you'd wonder if maybe he's going to try and poke one down the line. Panette playing pretty far back. Same with Gonzalez. With 2 outs, 2-0. This one in the air towards left field. Foscolo will jog to his left a little briefly, and another fly out for these Big Train, as that will end the inning. 1 run allowed on a sac fly by Walter. Good piece of hitting gives them a deficit of 6 instead of the 7-run marker. We'll be right back for this Big Train squad who will look to add on to their 8-2 lead on the Big Train Baseball Network. Logan Carell will stand into this one. 5'9" lefty, who's could redshirt his first year at Lehigh. Will have the opportunity to try and hold an 8-2 deficit right now for these Cropdusters. He's had a pretty good year so far. 3 innings pitched, 3 ERA, 3 whip. Given up a few runs, but he's a very, very talented lefty at his height who has, kind of like Daniel Palencia, a lot of violent motion to get most of his velocity.
Yeah, and the Cropdusters maybe finding a little bit of momentum, hopefully some of that coming from their line dance they did to the Cotton Eye Joe in between those innings. A brief shout out to our co-broadcaster on the Only Cropdusters side, Ali, for him joining the team.
He danced there as Cal Johnson steps in. He rips this one into the air right. Wind keeping it in the ballpark as he is extinguished right at the start of the warning track. A fly out to start things here for these Big Train will then drop Brennan Wright, who singled in that 5th inning and eventually came around as Logan Panett destroyed a ball.
Yeah, Johnson there, once again, he's hitting the ball hard tonight. It's just not quite getting the carry or depth that it needs to get out of the park.
Big Train have a pretty low average in terms of things, but have striking out the least. Most of these go into play. As you could argue they get unlucky, but just good fielding all around. As the throw back from the catcher, McNeil, is a bit low. You don't want to do that to your pitcher. Kind of always throws him out of his groove when he has to go somewhere different. They like to do the exact same thing between pitches, as he'll give the 1-0 as Carell will stand in against the lefty. And did go on the swing. 1-1 right.
That misplaced throw, not throwing his rhythm off too far there on that pitch.
Right, a very big pull hitter. This goes lefty-lefty. He's pulled a lot when he is in that difficult spot. Softball game behind us has ended. I think the Blackberries won it. 2-1 now. That one skipped in there as the catcher is able to fight it away from his kneecap as it nearly goes sideways into it. Corral out of West Grove, Pennsylvania. I could tell you that's in the Keystone State. 3-1. Ground ball right side from right. Keeps him alive at 3-2 as Corral, not too bad in the hit department, has conceded 7 walks though, a walks per 9 of 21, with only hits per 9 of under 6. 3-2 is a walk as he's not able to deliver that breaking ball in there, and it's a free pass for Brennan Wright, who is now 1 for 3 on the day still, but with a walk tallied.
Not maybe the most relevant fact of the night, but in this softball game over in this field, one of the coaches for the teams was also the high school football coach at Magruder High School, where both I and Avery Grain went to high school.
Some interesting tidbits. As Avery Grain, we mentioned it earlier, thought he was uncommitted. Website just got updated for them. He is a Wabash Valley Community College commit in Mount Carmel, Illinois. That is very close to where I am. Back home, 1-0, very close in terms of how close I am to Maryland. As Panett watches the first, and a pickoff attempt goes back over towards the runner on right. He's safe. Score is 8-2 as the Big Train put up a 5 spot in the top of the 5th. 1-0. Corral just in there. It's a strike on the outside upper portion of the plate. Panett letting it go. Could have driven it into that right corner, as there's a very big gap between second and the first baseman, as Rodriguez had double play depth with his first baseman holding one on. As the pickoff attempt goes wide again, more difficulties as that one is at the shin level and away from the lefty at first, and he can't scoop that. He has to go backhand, and he just doesn't have enough time at that distance, and 90 feet is the advance for Wright.
And obviously that one on a pitch that just kind of got away from both the pitcher and the first baseman, but constantly impressed by just how quick this Big Train squad is. As soon as anything is misplaced, they're so quick to get over and take their base when they can, as that ball is into the dirt a little bit. 2-1 the count.
Panett will watch that wild one to the right side. A good save from behind the dish from McNeil. And one of 3 catchers this Onley squad will rotate through. They're pretty quick on the base path, but haven't gotten there much tonight. Only 2 hits and a couple of walks. 2-1 as Wright makes him look back in his wind, which again causes a miss. And as a guy who is as fast as Wright is, you always want to just create havoc on the base paths, and Big Train have done just that tonight. Tons of stolen bases. The pile of them at just about 5. 3-1. Outside again, and Panette is walked. He'll get his free pass to first base. Would have advanced right anyway, regardless of the missed throw from the pitcher, as the shortstop, Hawkins, will have a brief conversation at the mound with his pitcher. Let him know, hey, man, we're behind you. Our defense has been great. We just need you to throw one, make sure that we get a ground out, as Adam Leader, the manager, will come up to this one and take a look, talk to Corral, the 5'9" lefty who's only gone through 3 batters. 1 out. Got a single batter on first, single batter on second. And you know, I'll ask some random MLB trivia that just came to my mind. Who is the all-time hit leader in Orioles history?
Oh, dear. All right. Well, unfortunately, my history of baseball is definitely lacking. Definitely been a more recent enjoyer of baseball.
We've already said his name as a question I asked you as an answer. It is exactly who you think it is.
Is it Cal Ripken Jr.?
It's Cal Ripken Jr.
Okay.
He's the leader in just about every offensive category.
I mean, I would think so, but I don't want to sound like a bad fan.
You can always be wrong. I'm always wrong about White Sox trivia. Righty Machado, as he stands in, the switch hitter, will get no at-bats tonight from the left side, as he did not see the only righty arm, Tom Have. Well, he didn't get any swings. He saw 4 pitches, all balls. As the 1-0 with a runner on second and first. Pitch is high, and 2-0 now. The walk problem seeming to still be alive and present for Corral, whose 2 appearances have done him well. His last time out, he had 2 innings of work, gave up no runs, but he did walk 4. Strike 1 out. 2-0 now. Pitch is out and right over the plate, a hanging breaking ball.
Corral's find a strike there. You know what's an interesting thing about baseball is often most sports in timeouts, the field or, the team makes its way to the coach and to the dugout or the sideline. In baseball, the coach makes its way to the team on the mound.
He's the one that has to move the least, as the 2-1 is popped into the air off the bat of Machado. Under it is Rodriguez. No infield fly rule called out loud, but the motion given by the umpire. So regardless of if he caught it or not, it's the second out of the inning as Machado goes down. Bringing up Emilio Rodriguez, says something to him as the lefty will get some information on how this man is throwing. Corral with 2 in a serious jam, 2 outs. Not the guy you want to give an at-bat to.
No, this is the guy who exactly the big train would want up, and here to make something happen is Gonzalez at the plate.
First pitch, Gonzalez will watch. These Onley Cropdusters have had fantastic work behind the dish as McNeil makes a swashbuckling save to his left and is able to keep that one from advancing both runners into scoring position. Gonzalez stand in as the 1-0. He'll watch for ball 2. Gonzalez 2 RBIs on the young night. He's 2 for 3, as one of them came on the RBI ground out, one of them an RBI single. RBI double, actually, last inning. 2-0 now. That one inside to Gonzalez in the count. 30. Night is overcast now, I'd have to say, as I'm missing. There's some sky peeking through as the sun fully sets. 3-0 inside to Gonzalez. Has to duck out of the way, and he'll be walked. Won't hit him. So 3 runners as the bases are loaded, surrounded, all via the walk. Will Hack will stand in now. Very good night last night with bases loaded in the clutch. Had an RBI triple that brought 3 home. It was a Little League home run as well as the errant throw from left. Got him in. First pitch he watches. It's a strike.
Gets credit for everyone else on the RBI, but not himself.
Yeah. Doesn't get a home run either, which is the rough part. Inside the park grand slam. Come on. It's a Little League grand slam by that word. Guess it would have been either way. But 0-1 now as that pitch misses very high. Hack, a very disciplined hitter, has also had extreme levels of patience. 1-1 the count. Logan Carell, the lefty out of Lehigh, trying to navigate this jam. Inside 2-1 as he watches this one go, and a difficult time hitting the zone for Carell, who has just not been anywhere close. His pitches have been pretty good at extinguishing batters. He's a sinker baller, but he's been leaving it up enough to where it's out of the zone, but could get really bad if he leaves one over the plate. 3-1 as the pitch goes inside that same sinker.
Catcher there, McNeil, making a nice save with that one, sliding with his knee pads over to the left side of the plate.
Routine at this point, it feels like, for any Cropduster behind the dish. Here's the 3-1. Just outside, and a runner comes home on the walk. It's Wright who comes home, and it's the third RBI of this night for Will Hack, who's got himself one heck of a day. He's 2 for 4, RBI groundout, RBI single, and now an RBI walk. As the bases loaded jam continues, and will be handed to TJ Gramesty, who's yet to be extinguished tonight. Has not scored, but he's 2 for 2 and took the painful way to first.
Yeah, 3 RBIs there, and a couple of them not as typical. Interesting there, but
back-to-back nights with that marker, and we're only in the 6th. This game is in the tail end now, which is something we haven't been saying a lot too early in these games. It's actually been 2 hours, so I think I've just been really enjoying my time. Having too much fun is me.
Oh, we always do. We always do.
1-0, Gramesty, the spark plug of a personality. We talked about him earlier. He's got a lot of unique parts about him. Almost never can see him at home not listening to music. He's from North Broward Prep, a Florida native. He's also ranked inside the top 1,000 in the world in MLB The Show. Pretty odd. Pretty odd guy. 1-0. Odd in the good way, though. Exactly like what a team needs in terms of a glue guy, as the 1-0 misses entirely. 2-0. Carell likely his last batter as a righty going in the pen. 2-0. In there, Broadway strike. Carell 2 out, surrounded. Let's give it to TJ Gramesty. 2-1 pitch. Just outside, and now 3-1 turns into a walk. Great job by Gramesty as he makes his way over to first on his first RBI of the night. And he has reached every time he's reached the plate, or appeared at the plate, I should say. As that one will bring Panetta in.
Gramesty going single, walk, and getting an RBI on that last one. So a patient but great night for him there.
10-2 the lead. We'll be right back. Carell's night is done. A righty will come out of the pen for these Cropdusters. Cropdusters will call upon Wells Twinning, the 6'6" righty out of Bethesda, Maryland, who went to Walt Whitman High School. Out of UMBC, he's a golden retriever, and he will be searching for a bone here with runners on everywhere. He needs to try and dig something out here. He needs to prevent any more damage, as this is getting out of hand for the Cropdusters potentially. Big Train squad that put up 27 tonight in double digits again.
Yeah, not pitching too many innings there at UMBC. Only 1.2 innings pitched in 2 games, but threw a complete game with 9 strikeouts in the regional championship to win Walt Whitman's 2nd ever regional championship in high school.
Has one full appearance against Gaithersburg in the season opener, was the 2nd reliever to come out of the pen, 2.1 innings pitched. He's actually in the midst, technically, of his appearance against the Big Train. He's in the game right now, as Saturday's suspended game. He will pitch the top of the 8th, as they're currently he'll pitch the bottom of the 7th, excuse me, as they currently sit top 7 in that game that we will play likely next week at our place and finish at our place next week. 2 outs, runners everywhere. That will bring up the likes of Ryan Foscolo out of Kentucky. He'll watch the first pitch low. Tall righty. You have to think about extension. He's literally giving the ball up from his hand at a further distance than most other pitchers, so he gets a little velocity bonus, so should be something to watch for if these Big Train can't get ahead of that fastball. 1-0 Foscolo. Pitch, ground ball left side. It bounces over to the shortstop, Hawkins, who throws it to first. First baseman digs it out just in time. Good play from Melton. Saves a run, and 10-2 the lead. Big Train collect 2 runs on 2 hits in this top half of the 6th. We'll go to the bottom 6 and see if the Cropdusters can try and fly back at all. It is rally time, they say here in Onley, as the PA announcer comes with 12 outs remaining as this squad is down 8. Wines will work again. He's having himself a pretty good night. 2 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 3 hits to this point so far, no strikeouts.
Barada up to the plate, has a ground out and a single so far tonight.
Barada also 2nd in this league's RBI totals and a chill 9 out of Jacksonville University. 2 Dolphins in that top 3 medal category, as his teammate Cade Walter, who batted earlier, is the other player who is at that 3rd spot. He's got 7. 0-1. As outside from Wines as 1-1 the count. He watched the first and the second.
Carson, I'm really curious now. How good is your dolphin noise?
I'm not doing that. You cannot get me to do that. 1-1. I appreciate the effort because that is, there is one thing that I do on the broadcast that is not like my regular voice, and it's a Kermit impression, and that has to be related to something. So, 2-1. Smashed into right field as this one Hackett will trail. It'll careen off the wall. He'll get it there. As over to second, a bash ball double for Barada, who continues his havoc on the laces of each ball he faced. 4th double of the year. And now 2 for 3 on the night.
Well, rally they said before that at bat, and rally I guess it was for Barada there, hitting that one deep into the right side of center field. That one knocking off the fence there and easily jogs into second for a stand-up double.
Well, ironically, right now in that suspended game, Kaiser Smith is the pitcher. He's going right now in the pen, the warming right-hander out of FAU. No earned runs so far in 5.2 innings this season. He gave up 2 unearned on errors.
Smith in the middle of trying to stop a comeback from the Cropdusters in that suspended game when the lights went out at Shirley Povich, so that one needing to be picked up from where it was left off at the top of the 7th.
He's actually given up 5 runs unearned now as he gave up a bases-clearing double, 1-0. He's actually given up 1 earned because the runner at first was his, but technically game not over, so he's still got his ERA to this point. As the 1-1 now. Talk our last update or fact here in the 6th inning. We were going to go for 3 headlines tonight about the MLB, and Spencer Jones, Yankees prospect, homered for the first time. It was 450 feet.
Wow, he really got that ball mashed, didn't he?
Does not beat the rookie home run distance record right now for their first home run of the season at White Sox very own Jacob Gonzalez. It went 462 at Citizens Bank Park. Last week, 1-2. Was a second deck bomb. Looking for that kind of power here is Springmeyer, who does have it in his bat, as the 1-2 just bounces low, a skipping ball that Gramesty makes a good save on with his right knee armor. And the runner at second almost considers going, but Barada knows better. Counts at 2s, no outs. Runner in scoring position. Here comes Wines. The pitch, ground ball left side. It'll be Machado, who kind of almost gets run into by Panette. A fantastic throw by Machado. And the runner is caught just in the nick of time as Springmeyer not quick enough to outbeat Machado, who has just been perfect at short this year.
Yeah, and that power behind that arm has been really essential in getting those runners out at first base. Does have the runner get over to third.
Yeah, the Dolphin Barada swims 90 feet up. Sac fly threat with 1 out as the first pitch is in there for a strike against Owen McNeil, the catcher tonight, the lefty batting catcher. He's got a bright yellow bat. The 0-1. 10-2 the lead, trying to hold it at that as that one is well away. Gramesty gets it, throws it back as the runner will score on the wild pitch offense, something we see fairly often in this league, as that one is low and just Gramesty cannot get it. Bounces off his glove and about 10 feet into the air. From that point, 0-1 turns to 1-1, base is clear. So no earned run on his own wild pitch. Wines, 3rd inning of work, trying to get through as that one, soft grounder left side, Panette bare hands, fires over to first, and it'll be late. But a good play nonetheless as Gonzalez has to stretch for it. Infield single for Owen McNeil to keep this line moving. Avery Green, the center fielder out of Wabash Valley Community College, comes into this one now with a runner at first.
Yeah, you know, going back to the play with Springmeyer not able to reach on that ball into the shortstop area out at first, but it does advance Barada there, and because of that advancement, is able to get in on that wild pitch. So while he didn't get marked down for an RBI or a hit there, actually an important piece of hitting from there for the Cropdusters to score.
Big Train will have themselves a little pitching mound visit here as Craig Lopez takes the ball from Wines. It'll be Kaiser Smith, the right-hander from Florida Atlantic University, the Owl, who has just mowed down batters. High strikeout threat, high walk threat. Bit of a coin flip with this guy, but he has been fantastic in anything but that this season. We'll be right back as the Big Train lead 10-3. A pitching change in the bottom half of the sixth as Kaiser Smith will try and extinguish the side. Here comes the 6'2 righty, Kaiser Smith, who's not quite the Big Train closer, but he is their high-pressure guy. Has yet to come into a game this season without runners on. He's got one at first. Smith, a dangerous, dangerous guy to play. 2 games that he's completed tonight, 5.2 innings pitched. 0 ERA at that point, .7 whip, 6 strikeouts, has walked one and nailed one in an inning of work that he went way too long than I think than you'd expect. Went 3.2 against Gaithersburg with a depleted staff. Fantastic job to really get them through. What ended up being a 5-3 loss. Big Train had to produce more runs than that one. He did earn the loss and has himself a win, though, as well. Was the pitcher and held the Thunderbolts, excuse me, in the first game of the season, 2 full innings. So a lot of important moments that Smith has already been in as the Stonewall, Louisiana, Oweekta Baptist High School player will have to navigate through another jam.
Yeah, and Smith is just an experienced guy, the Big Train, using him in those situations where there are already runners on and hoping that he can come in and bring a good end to this inning.
Wabash Valley Junior College player Avery Green will come into this one. Went to your high school, Mount Carmel, where that is near me.
Colonel Zadok Magruder, high school graduate. .25
high school commit to Wabash Valley. That one fouled backwards. They'll go duel again on the 1-0. Smith. Strike out the first batter he's faced in every appearance, other than the one that is incomplete right now, as Grain now 0-2. He waves at a fastball. Man at first is McNeil. Count 0-2. Smith deciding his pitch with his catcher. Pitch. Behind it again, and that is a firm fastball that he keys up Grain on. Fantastic work again from the man on the mound, Smith, who has proven to be a fantastic clutch player on the dish. Nathan Wines' night will end at 2.1 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs given. Run on first would be his if it scores. 2 outs. Drawn up is the leadoff hitter, Zakai Hawkins. He is 0 for 2 on the day with a hit by pitch reach. Trying to fight back any way they can in the bottom of the 6th, rallying with only 10 outs remaining in this game for them to get into this one. But a game of baseball does, in theory, last forever. First pitch is skied into the air as gets off the back of Zakai Hawkins way under a curveball he may have thought was a off-speed. We'll be right back as the big train retire the side. 2 up, 2 down for the likes of Smith in relief as 1 run does come across. We'll be right back here on the Big Train Baseball Network in the top half of the 7th as they look to add on to a 10-3 lead in Onley. More work for Wells Twinning, the 6'6" righty out of Bethesda, Maryland. Walt Whitman High School graduate and UMBC. He'll have his first batter of the inning. It'll be the likes of Jackson Mirza, who is led off now 2 innings in a row. Or, I guess, ended the first and last of that inning. Sky to the air to center field. Green tracking it. He's got it. First pitch and out as Mirza flies out to center. F8 as the Big Train have swung very early for these leadoff batters, but patience has gone to a very interesting spot as they have been far more patient through the second and third hitters of the entire order. Cal Johnson will be brought up. He's leading it off tonight. The designated hitter has nearly left the park twice in the 5th and 6th. Sacrifice fly RBI in the 3rd. And he mashed a ball into the hot corner at the left side, but the third baseman was able to collect it on a ranging catch. 0-1, he took a first pitch curveball, Twinning. Righty. This one in there. Good fastball from him. Twinning actually bats lefty, or did bat lefty when he batted. Counts 0-2 to the Maryland commit. Had a good year at College of Central Florida last year. Outside, he watches a waste pitch at the College of Central Florida. What got him that Maryland offer was a 246 average on a 428 OBP, 439 slug. He left the park 4 times. He's left the park 1 time this season. He's had a good start. Walked 7 times. 1-2 is fouled back. Keeps himself alive on a 1-2. Kaiser Smith just came in and finished off a low portion of the order as we are now in the top of the 7th here on the Big Train Baseball Network. Cal Johnson's behind the 1-2 fastball. He'll strike out. Only his 4th of the season, as that will draw up the next batter, Brennan Wright. Pull, quick hitter. He'll be in the 2-hole. Brennan Wright does just kind of feel like a 2-hole hitter kind of guy. He's just very solid. not quite a conventional lefty batter. I mean, you're expecting a lefty leadoff man to be able to hit it to all parts of the park, and he really can. Most of his hits are everywhere, but most of his outs, when he grounds out, is almost entirely to second baseman. First time the whole season earlier today, he grounded out to the second baseman twice in a row. And the first time the whole season that he did not do that was, I think, Saturday, which technically hasn't gone down. So only ground outs to the second baseman this season. 1-0 outside. Now 2-0 as Twinning falls behind Brennan Wright. Right in his second year as a Big Train batter. Hit .448, .869 OPS last season. 2-0. Pitch from the tall righty in there. It's a good strike on the inside.
Yeah, like you mentioned, I mean, Wright being a guy for this Big Train team who has the experience with this squad and with this organization, and it's just been really effective in where he places the ball when he's in the box.
2-1 is low. Count will go to 3-1 as he watches ball 3. Here comes the 3-1 from Twinning, just outside and right. He's on again for another walk. Walked in the 6th, singled in the 5th, and he's been on for 3 straight appearances. As Cal Johnson's strikeout will not quite end the inning as they try and get a rally going here.
Well, and here's the man who has the hot bat tonight. Panette hitting a home run tonight already and a single. So hoping he can add to his tally and bring another runner home.
2 for 3 at the dish. He walked in the 6th as well. He watches strike 1, Twinning much faster in the fastball department than the man he did homer off of. He homered off of Brennan Tomhave, the righty out of Illinois Wesleyan. 1-0. Fouls this one back. A lot of torque in that swing, but just behind a fastball.
Some cartoonish sound effects as that one flies foul up and over the back end of the stands.
Golly, I hope that picked up. That was odd. 10-3 the lead as the pickoff attempt for the, luckily not the 3rd time in a row now, does not get past the first baseman, as the last 2 have resulted in E1s. 3 errors tonight. 4, only 2 of them are E1s on pickoffs. 1-1 the count to Panette. Just inside, he stays in and prepares to be brazed by a fastball. It breaks though, and he is left unscathed. Pickoff attempt again does not get right at first. Last time Wright was on, he was the man who was actually advanced on a E1. The 2-1 count now as Panette standing in. Pitch. Right goes. And the catcher will just eat it. McNeil does not feel as he's able to get it, and he will reach second base right well. Uncontested. 3-1 the count. Big Train feeling like themselves as the team that we've been told we would be getting, if that makes sense in any way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
we've been expecting.
Yeah, expecting big things of the team, and obviously they have a reputation for being the best in this league, and maybe starting to see that a little bit in these last 2 games for the Big Train. Flagship
franchise of the Cal Ripken Senior League, the only team that has been remotely close to around as long as them, has the Tacoma Thunderbolts. Silver Spring Tacoma is in their 26th anniversary season, which, the Big Train promptly celebrated last night by putting 27 on them as they're a year older.
Not maybe a nice thing to them, but a needed thing for the Big Train to get their bats moving.
Payoff. Runner at second base is right. 3-2 the count. Pitch lined into right field. Coming in on it is Duncan. It'll get between him and the second baseman. Runner will come home. Play at the plate on Duncan's throw is safe. He's too far behind him. And Wright, a fantastic work on the base paths as he gets himself home. Lead extended to 11-3. How about that? Big Train scored double digits. 11 in back-to-back nights at least. We don't know what could happen tomorrow night against Metro South County, who is one of the better stories of parity so far this season, currently in the tie spot for the lead of the South. They lead 6-1 over Southern Maryland, who is the team they're tied with in first. Machado will stand in and will line one left and foul. Gaithersburg up 3-1 on Silver Spring Tacoma. Beat them last time 20-8, so a bit of improvement for the Thunderbolts, who have better staff that they opted to not use last night. Or Sunday, excuse me. I always forget we have an off day. Baseball is all 7 days for me, it feels like. 0-1. Machado, ground ball up the middle, off the wrist of the pitcher. But he's able to get it over to first base. Fantastic play, a fantastic recovery, I should say, no less, from Wells Twinning as he gets out of this inning with only one scathed on him. 11-3 the lead now for the Big Train as they get one run on one hit. We'll be right back in the bottom half of the 7th. We'll stretch as the Cropdusters look to try and get into this game. Kaiser Smith returns to the mound for the Big Train after extinguishing his first 2 batters he saw. Cropdusters will lean on the bat of Dylan Melton to try and get things going here in the bottom half of the 7th. They're running out of time, in theory. Baseball is measured by outs, not distance, in hours from the end, as I'll ask the Big Train dugout if they have any more game balls. The umpire will.
Well, and I think we become accustomed to the fact that it's not necessarily the amount of time that we'll be here, although sometimes curfews at these parks as the lights go out.
It's only 8:30.
We're fine on curfew tonight.
Big Train definitely did that. I mean, it was the top half of the 7th inning last time where they decided, hey, let's put up 12. And they did do that, and it was a winning triple as One nothing turns to 2-0 as Kaiser Smith misses again. Two 2-0 the count to Melton. He's 2 for 3 on the night with 2 singles. Way behind a fastball. He has done a fantastic bit of work with that.
Yeah, big swing at it there for the likes of Melton in the box.
Behind it again, and that fastball has just done all the work Smith needs. Sometimes he goes and he says, I'm going to, try and work a few curveballs, a few sliders, a few breaking pitches in there, and then he just gives up and throws 3 fastballs in a row, and they haven't made contact with it yet. So we'll see if they can here. Melton, 2-2 count after starting 2-0, and he'll watch strike 3. That goes down Broadway. But he's left staring, stars and too bright in that situation for what was a good play. I'd call that one Hamilton.
Hamilton?
Because Broadway? Yeah, I'm sorry. Stars were too bright. Do you get it?
Well, I mean, yes. But is that the first Broadway show that comes to mind for you?
I literally, okay, you are a more fine arts inclined person, I have seen one show on Broadway, and it was the SpongeBob musical.
See,
and
that's a phenomenal musical.
I don't think it gets better than that.
I mean, it sometimes doesn't. The Tony Awards on Sunday.
Sister saw Broadway Hamilton in Chicago 3 times. I think twice, actually, and one in New York. She's very big on it. Shout out Amber. 0-1. As that one now 1-1 as Kaiser Smith, his pitch will fall lower. Shout out to my sister. She graduated 2 weeks ago and just got her diploma from the University of Vanderbilt, her master's. 1-1. Their School of Education, as that one misses low. Very proud of my sister, if you couldn't tell.
Well, yeah, that's an incredible accomplishment from a great school.
This game, 11-3, not too close, but as is the case in college summer ball, everything is attainable. 2-1. Ground ball left side. And now 2-2. I'll remark that the Cropdusters in this inning, in this very spot at the bottom 7th, this is where they scored 9, followed by 2 to score 11 unanswered and won the game against the Big Train. They are currently down a breezy 8. As Kaiser Smith's 2-2 misses outside to the batter Duncan. 3-2 full count. Duncan 1 for 2 on the night. Some steals, well, 1 steal, 1 caught, and a walk. 3-2, did he go? They'll say he didn't. Just before the plane as a good hold up from Duncan. His hesitation will have him at first base. He'll have his second walk of the night and will bring up the teammate of the leading RBI scorer, the guy in third in that category. Cade Walter, another Dolphin. So many guys from Jacksonville all around this league. Few on our team. As I heard a Kirk Cousins, you like that from the dugout. They're trying to get into this game.
Yeah, and trying to find some momentum either way. I mean, you mentioned the last game with the comeback, as that one is in the zone for strike 1 to Kaiser Smith. Big Train hoping that a deeper pitching staff tonight will help prevent that comeback tonight, not have a repeat performance.
Yeah, Walter nowhere near that first one. He was way behind a fastball. Smith, the Florida Atlantic Owl. He has been very good this year. No earned runs. He will have earned runs once that suspended game from Saturday ends, but only 2 given. They were unearned as TJ Gramesty tries to go back and get that ball. It's a wild pitch. Kind of a difficult situation, though. 1-1. That one off of the swing and miss. And then the low and away ball. Walter, sack flight already in his last at-bat to bring an RBI home. He's 0 for 1 regardless than that. He struck out looking as well as walked. As they will step off for a moment. Smith will regain his composure with another hurler going in the bullpen. He'll likely be the next fresh horse after this inning in the 7th. 11-3, the lead for Bethesda with a runner in second and 1 out. The pitch. He'll watch ball 3 as a good work from Walter. Some detective work in the box as he sniffs that one low. Righty Smith, and he walked him. Just his second walk of this young season as Smith in his technically 3rd, kind of 4th appearance. His 3rd's currently happening. Again, we talk about the suspended stats. They don't go final to the end, but his 4th appearance of the year, we'll call it.
I'm sure his arm feels like 4th appearances,
Yeah.
even if they're not in the stat book yet.
Yeah, well, he's had that Thursday game definitely did that. He had a day of rest and goes on Saturday for honestly only 8 pitches, so pretty much a blessing that he's able to get into this one for the side of Bethesda. MLB news. I know we have a lot of listeners from Florida, the families of players who are from Florida. Ronald Acuna was just taken out of the game against the White Sox, apparent knee injury. First pitch swinging, excuse me, is the likes of the pinch hitter for Onley. It's Ryan Booma who enters this game in place of Donis Rodriguez. 0-1. Outside as Booma will watch that one go. Booma will replace Rodriguez, who will end his night at 1 for 3. Pretty good single after Cade Walter walked. He's got 2 on, 1 out, and will not be fooled by that breaking ball. Nowhere near the zone, but again, you can tell how good it is by the fact that almost every time he throws it, there's almost always some sort of check swing. It was the case there. Two one. That one just low and inside as Kaiser Smith getting a little wild in his now full inning of work, trying to move beyond that. Warming in the pen for Bethesda is the righty, ranked 37, who I do not have on this roster. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. It is Zachary Malvasio, who will be a new pitcher for this squad, as Bethesda has a two-way hitter-pitcher. He's currently warming.
Another guy out of UCF from the big train. Getting our 2 UCF guys back for this one, with Soler starting the game.
3-2, full count. Lined up the middle. Leaping is the likes of right at second, but he can't get there in time. Bases will be loaded as everybody had to hold up. And now ducks on the pond for the next batter, the leader on this team in RBIs, Logan Barada. We already talked about it every at-bat, second in the league. He has been a great clutch hitter. Barada will trail a Ryan Booma single that just got over the head of right. 1 out, ducks on the pond. First pitch high and away. One 0 now as Kaiser Smith looks to try and navigate this jam. His battery mate TJ Gramesty will be the I suppose the navigator of the ship, choosing what pitches come through, and got to rely a lot, especially against lefties like the one in the box, Barada, on sliders. He's gone a lot to it. There's it again, and that breaking pitch is nowhere near the bat of Barada. 1-2 the count. 1-2.
If you're interested in a weather update here at First Responder Field as we get the 1-2 pitch.
Just outside. I don't know if I agree with that call, but again, we have a side angle and it moves slightly to the right in our eyes, so probably just outside in terms of what I actually saw.
Probably. It was pretty overcast here to kind of start the game. The clouds have kind of cleared and it actually feels like it's gotten a little bit warmer than it was about an hour ago. Interesting as it got further tonight and warmer.
Yeah, it's a really good point. 2-2 turns to 3-2 as the low off speed is outside. I would expect him here, Zach, to probably go fastball on anywhere on the plate, probably high. You're on a 3-2. You know you're going to try and get a hittable pitch. He's going to try and give you something, or a slider that's just nowhere near. 3-2. It's that fastball, and he turns it, torque foul, but nowhere near the foul line. He's way ahead of it. Tried to pull that ball all the way into the Chesapeake Bay. Which is the other side of the field. So I guess to West Virginia.
West Virginia, that's over there.
3-2, full count. They'll dance again, and a hard hit into left field. It'll get down, runs will score. Foscolo will pick it up, he comes up with it. Run will score, as the well played throw from the outfield keeps runners where they are. So just one coming across here on the RBI single from Logan Barada. He'll tie technically Gonzalez at the start of this game, but Gonzalez already has 2 RBIs, so he's already at 12.
Yeah, I mean,
He'll tie Machado, who had his 10th earlier this game.
and that in the books, technically the first earned run that Kaiser Smith has conceded this season.
Looks like that may end Kaiser Smith's day potentially if he gives up another one. Bases will still be loaded. Craig Lopez, the pitching coach, will come out for a quick mound visit. It doesn't look like he will have anything to do here in terms of getting rid of his pitcher. He's just letting Kaiser Smith know, hey, man, you're the man. And he is. Smith has been coin flip in the terms of this guy is so good that he's unhittable, but kind of struggled to hit the zone. He's a guy that, you know, some of these teams like the Reds, the Brewers, you often see them pick up from these summer ball leagues. He's very young, Smith. But it's the type of guys they pick up because they see so much potential. If they could just hit the zone a little more, they could become something unreal. And for that, Smith is kind of the same case. He's going to be unhittable, it feels like, except by the very elite, which is what you saw there from Barada, just getting ahead and perfect on a fastball. He has to kind of throw it down the middle there because he's struggling with the placement. But the Sarazing senior out of FAU has just been fantastic this season. He gives up his first earned run, as you mentioned, with runners everywhere. He's struggling a little bit with some beltway loop delays. First pitch to the next batter is roped down the line. Foul. The third base coach is wearing a black shirt, and I thought that he had just called that fair, and I was like, whoa! He was hoping for it fair, as the Knights of Landon Springmeyer, who was caught at first earlier, mashes one down that line.
Yeah, third and first base coaches for both teams, I believe, wearing black. I had the similar problem with the big train over at first, making a safe call before the umpire did.
0-1 is a towering backwards foul ball that ends up likely in the field behind us or somewhere close. It's a complex of parks here at First Responder. 0-2, Kaiser Smith has got Springmeyer in quite the hole. He's fouled it twice off, though. Breaking pitch is tattooed. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is foul. Nearly one that left the park, as Foscolo has to watch that one go into the night sky, barely foul.
Yeah, I believe that one just actually did get out over the fence, but over the foul side line.
0-2, not going to give him that pitch again here, or if he does, it won't be hittable. Trust TJ Gramercy to get one that is low. Front part of the plate, it's a front door slider, fantastic pitch. He'll watch it go out of the zone. He's not too happy about that one as Springmeyer goes down looking on strikes.
25 from Central Alabama, Owen McNeil.
It's a front door slider. You do not see that often at this level. That is a perfectly executed pitch.
A great pitch, and number 15, Springmeyer, not happy about that call from the umpire. Maybe not earn himself any more favors in this game with the way he left that batter's box there.
This one in the air to left. First pitch to Mike McLean is crushed, as this one will end the threat, though, as Foscolo adjusts pretty well. Doesn't get down just fast enough in the Kentucky red shirt. We'll have it out, and we'll have this inning. Bases loaded, stranded then, as this one will go to the top of the 8th. Big train of 6 more outs to add on to an 11-4 lead after 1 or 2 is played, in that bottom half of the inning. No, just one. One is played in the bottom half of the inning. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network.
baseman number 45, Emilio.
Welcome back to Bethesda, well, the Bethesda Baseball Network, Big Train Baseball Network. We're in Onley, actually. Big Train find themselves up 11-4 as Emilio Gonzalez will come to the dish. That one outside as Gonzalez takes ball 1 from Twinning, and now his 1.2-third inning of work. Umpire warning the only dugout to stop talking about balls and strikes. 1-0. Tension's been pretty high in every Cropdusters Big Train game. Sometimes between the teams, sometimes between the umps. 1-0 turns to 2-0 as that one low. They're trying to now encourage their pitcher Twinning, who is now kind of in a tough spot. Up 11-4 are the Big Train. You're just trying to keep it there so your hitters have a chance. As now 3-0.
It's interesting. I mean, the Cropdusters actually only starting their team in 2023, so not a lot of time in this league to form like deep-setted rivalries or anything with the Big Train, but it definitely has been a rowdy bunch in these last couple of games with them.
4-pitch walk to Emilio Gonzalez, and I mean, let me tell you, it's baseball. All it takes is one wayward pitch, and you've got yourselves a rivalry that is going to be pretty hot for a long time. You look at I mean, there's a lot of teams that you think about that have a lot of experience with rivalries and a lot of tough times through just one pitch. I mean, the Yankees-Red Sox rivalry isn't as big as it used to be now, but Yankees-Blue Jays is something. Marlins-Blue Jays is a rivalry that kind of started the season on that, as that one's in there to Will Hack. After Gonzalez's walk, Hack will come up. Third RBI collected on a RBI walk his last time up. It was his second night in a row with that moniker. That one outside. 1-1. As that one is low.
Yeah, Hack had a great night against the Thunderbolts. He sits at 1-1 here. The pitch coming in.
Ground ball right side collected by Rodriguez, or not Rodriguez, it's now Buma, who came in for the pinch hit. He'll get the out at first. He'll stay at second, as Buma is a fairly powerful second baseman, and can't really think of a lot of powerful second basemen who have a lot of home run pop. And I guess Luis Arias would be the kind of guy you're looking at in terms of body type, but Arias does not hit for any kind of power remotely. First pitch now to Gramesty after the ground out does advance Gonzalez. 1 each for these two squads in the 7th, as the lead returning to 7. Jeff Kent is a name you just searched up, who I am going to call us out on, because not knowing Jeff Kent is pretty egregious, the 2000 MVP, as that one's a strike to Gramesty.
Jeff Kent has 354 homers while playing at second base.
It's a horrible miss from us.
It is a bad miss. I'll say mostly from you because I don't claim my baseball knowledge.
Who was the other? Sandberg? 0-2. Gramesty saws this one off towards the shortstop, Hawkins, who will fire it over to first and catch him in time for the second out of the inning.
Able to make those two plays at first to put two Big Train batters down, but Gonzalez is able to get his way all the way over to third in those, so the Big Train now have a runner in prime scoring position.
There's a Yankees second baseman who I know I'm missing. I think he's third or fourth all time, maybe second. I don't know.
If you're curious, among active MLB players, Jose Altuve is the current leader for career home runs.
Doesn't play second much anymore. He actually is this year. 1-0 as the first pitch to Foscolo is missed outside. Gonzalez at third on the advance from the ground out. Counts 1-0. As Twinning and more work as that one just in there. Good pitch on the outside portion of the plate. Just paints it. About halfway in the zone, I'd have to say. 1-1. Train looking at add on here in the top of the, excuse me. Here comes Twinning. Sawed off again, left side, Foscolo Third baseman will fire over to first. A good put out by Barada. We'll be right back as the big train do not put a run up for the first time since the second inning. We'll be seeing more of this Onley Cropdusters lineup here, though, in this bottom half of the eighth. They'll try and fight back. 6 outs remain for them to climb a 7-run mountain. They've done it before. Could do it again. We'll see on the Big Train Baseball Network, 11-4 Bethesda. The first appearance from the second UCF pitcher we're seeing tonight, Zachary Malvasio, 6'2", 215 out of Fort Lauderdale. An outfielder and a pitcher, two-way guy who will be thrown from the right-handed side. He was a Central Florida Knight last year. Did a pretty good job on the mound. We'll get you those stats in just a moment, as I actually, admittedly, embarrassingly, only pulled his hitting stats. And I'm not sure why. Guy clearly pitched more than he hit. Malvasio had a very good year as a senior. It was his freshman year last year as a member of UCF. Had himself a 3.18 ERA, a fantastic season through 8 innings out of there, 8 appearances out of the pen, 5.2 innings only. Got a lot of jams that he got helped out of, but only 11 runners got on in his 8 appearances of work.
Yeah, I mean, once again, the Big Train able to bring an experienced arm out of the bullpen, a luxury they have not had too many times already this season. Really good and glad to have an experienced and skilled pitcher on the mound to try and close this one out.
Avery Green stands in on this one. Ready batter, yellow bat. Not quite the yellow of UCF. That is a pretty deep gold. Has more rust to it, as Green will stand in on this one. Had a pretty good year so far.
You mentioned he has committed now to Wabash Valley, I know I just butchered that, junior college. He played his last season after graduating in 2025 with Montgomery College.
Montgomery College, and that is
Community college
in
Montgomery County.
what town?
It kind of has a couple campuses, but like Rockville is one of the campuses.
Okay.
That probably is where the baseball team plays.
Unaware of that. 1-0. Hard. Worm burner to short. Fires it over as Machado gets the put out. He gobbles up a pretty hard fastball, essentially, in the ground there. He's a Kai Hawkins after that ground out. Turns the lineup fully over. Avery Green starting this one out with a ground out. Not exactly what they had hoped. Machado perfect, remained at short. Did a good job handling that one. First pitch to Hawkins is low and away from Malvasio. Malvasio graduated from St. Thomas Aquinas. Was a member of the Max Preps All-American first team as an outfielder in 2025. The 1-0 is fouled back almost directly at us. Little further. Enough to where we had to stare at the sky and just be like, boy, I hope none of that wind comes back. I think part of the reason it's been a lot warmer is the wind is fully faded. Flag's not moving in center.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I mean, that's probably the biggest shift in this weather forecast is there's no longer really a breeze blowing in this park.
1-1 outside, 2-1 to Hawkins. Vassie was actually the number 45 ranked outfielder in the country. I mean, this guy just also pitches in addition to a huge bat. 1-1. Mashed up the middle. Same kind of ball, but no way Machado could even get close to that one. Goes right up the middle. He's considering two. He'll think better of it as Mirza throws one in. Little arm shake there at the end. Have to imagine it's hurting after what was a absurd appearance for him where he kept his ERA at 0 on the mound against the Thunderbolts. Got the win. 3 runs given up. He let the bases loaded clear, but did not give up a run that he got on base. So why not?
Yeah, I mean, he needed to work through a little bit of kinks out as he obviously had not pitched in a long while, but once he found his rhythm, able to deliver some really great strikes and a couple of moving balls as well.
After Hawkins has mashed one on the ground, it will bring up the likes of Dylan Melton, who takes it for ball 1. Good game here tonight, 11-4 for the Bethesda. Not so much for Onley. Winner of this one will go second in the division. Be a good swing for the Big Train, who are as low as 4th in this 4-team North.
Melton in the box is 2 for 4 tonight, but does not have an RBI in his 2 hits.
If you're curious, other news and broadcasting for us, Bob Costas actually calling the White Sox game tonight as a special treat for 80s night. 2-0. A lot of things happening in the White Sox park weirdly tonight. Just a lot of news as Acuna went out of that game, if you're curious. I know we have a lot of Braves fans watching because most of the South, if you're not from the Tampa or South Beach area, tends to be a situation where you're pretty much a Braves fan anywhere in the South other than Florida, South Florida, as Malvasio will walk the second batter of the inning on. First one reached via a hit.
Next, the right fielder, number 20, Andrew.
But no. Speaking of Tampa, a note on the center fielder Mirza. His father, Eric, played baseball at the University of Miami and the University of Tampa, who just under a week ago, Tampa became the first D2 squad in baseball to ever three-peat. They have very fun jerseys, lot of MLB players. They have a fantastic program. Runners at second and first for Malvasio. Strike 1 to Andrew Duncan as the runner goes pretty delayed. Timed up Gramesty behind the dish. And corners now.
On the toss back to Kaiser Smith there, he doesn't see the runner going, does not recognize it in time. By the time he looks over, he's already over there. And so a runner in good scoring position at third base for the Cropdusters.
Duncan 1 and 2 on the night. He's walked twice. 1-0 to him is outside. Malvasio a missile out of his arm. He has got a fantastic fastball. Very hard. A lot of velocity. Counts ones. Outside and away, struggling with the off speed. Not quite trouble with the curve, which is a movie I probably should have watched at this point.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either, actually.
Might do that tonight. 2-1. We'll get back to you tomorrow. As the Big Train take on Metro South County. 5-2 now, I believe, as I think their game has gone officially final. The leaders of the South Division, they're 6-2 top of the 8th. Bottom 6 in D.C. as Alexandria leads after losing 2 in a row. And Gaithersburg, bottom 6. Thunderbolts hanging on, 5-3. 3-1. In there for strike 2. Well, Duncan knew it. Not trying to find that fastball. Everybody's been behind it. Or has hit it directly up the middle. Here comes the 3-2. Full count. Runner trying to distract him. It's popped very high into the air. Coming in on it is Hack. Collected. Runner will consider going at third, but will ultimately think better of it as Hack would have gunned him down.
Yeah, and Smith dispatches 2 in this bottom of the 8th. Hoping to get one more and send the Cropdusters with only one more inning back to try and disperse this 7-run lead.
Well, they thought better of it, or remember what happened on Saturday where Will Hack threw a frozen rope to catch a Cropduster coming home. This one is deep into the left field corner. Chasing after it is Foscolo at that foul line. He's not able to get there, but it is foul. A big break for Bethesda. That one would have been a lot of damage against them.
Yeah, and no signal there from the third base coach of the Cropdusters. So even he knew that one drifted pretty far foul in the end. But a big hit there, and not the kind of hit you want to give up for the big train here that could do a lot of damage with runners in scoring position for a runner in scoring position for the Cropdusters.
They'll survive after Duncan's flyout brought up Cade Walter, who took that first pitch for a ride. 0-1. The Jacksonville Dolphins homered twice already. One in, one out of the park. Mirza, notably, we talk about Malvasio on the mound, 1-1. Now 1-2, good breaking pitch. He was 54th in that same class in the outfield. That Malvasio was 45th in the state of Florida specifically. Corners, 1-2 now. Righty Malvasio in his debut trying to leave the jam unscathed. Pitch just outside. A good off speed that drops a little too quickly, and the count now 2-2. After Andrew Duncan's flyout, Cade Walter is part of the big bashing lineup they have here at 3-4-5. The heart of the order is just a difficult one, and he just watches fastball down the middle, and Broadway. And he knew it. Family Guy reference. We'll go to the top half of the ninth. The big train will look to add for the final time with 3 outs remaining for both sides here. In the bottom of the 8th, nothing comes across. 2 stranded. Well done by Malvasio. We'll be right back on the Baseball Network of the Big Train. Welcome back to the Big Train Baseball Network. Top of the 7th, last chance for the Big Train to add on to an 11-4 lead, which they have not piled on tonight after the last time they went up big on Sunday.
Well, maybe we're getting a little spoiled with summer league games. 11 runs is still very good in a baseball game.
Well, it's just not 27. 0-1 as first pitch to Mirza is fouled off, and the second one is pop fly, foul territory, and Barada is there to get it. Still twinning on the mound is Wells, who is Wells twinning, that is his name, as some Gen Z slang that I use incorrectly, which I know how to use, I didn't know how to use it in that situation. Cal Johnson will come to the dish after Mirza is out in the second inning in a row leading off.
Well, I mean, I would say he is twinning with the rest of his teammates wearing the same uniform.
That is true. All in their overalls. Mirza, after his pop out to the third base side, has brought up Cal Johnson, who is 0 for 5 on the night. 0 for 4. Doesn't get a sac fly counted against him with an RBI. 1-0, he takes a big hack at one so great his elbow guard falls off.
You know, Twinning on the mound in the overalls and his tall frame looks like someone who would be playing a farmhand in like a play of Oklahoma.
1-1. I know nothing about that play. I assume the plot is related to a tornado? Knowing the Midwest?
No, there's not too much tornadoes in the
That might be the
show
movie
Oklahoma.
Twister. That's the movie Twister.
There is,
2-1.
as we get the pitch there,
3-1. Go on.
there is a tornado in another film that has farmhands. Wizard of Oz?
That is true. That is kind of reminiscent of the Cropdusters kind of vibe with their jerseys. 3-1. He slugs this one into right, but right fielder doesn't have to move too much. Duncan misread it, had to kind of pedal in quickly, but that's 2 outs very quickly. Is now 5 straight retired batters for Twinning.
Yeah, and I mean, if the Cropdusters are going to have any chance at this one in the bottom of the 9th, it's going to have to be right here, and they're doing a good job so far. They put 2 down and just 1 to go.
Alvasio due up again for this Big Train side. He'll try and go 2 innings with 2 holds, 1 hold, but the 0-0 is fouled back by Brennan Wright, the left-handed batter out of University of South Alabama. They play in the CUSA. The Jaguars are a pretty good baseball program. 0-1. In there. Now the 0-2 as he watches strike 2 go by. Good night tonight for Twinning, who's recovering from a less than outstanding one. 0-2. Foul backwards as he's behind a fastball, but keeps it alive.
Yeah, and it's turned into kind of a quiet night here in Onley, Maryland. Creeping into the evening as crowd disperses a little bit, but still an inning left to play here. 1 out, and then the bottom of the 9th for the Big Train.
0-2 to right. He'll watch one go low. Stays in there, and the 1-2 now. Twinning's night tonight has been exactly what Only needed, but just bats haven't woken up. He's gone through 3 innings pitched already. If he gets the out here, it'll be 3.1, 1-2. Line to right and into the glove of the first baseman. Melton, a good play as he's been fantastic defensively all night. Twinning ends his night at 3.1 innings pitched, unless perhaps the Big Train concedes 7 here in the bottom half. But 1 hit, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and a strikeout for a good job from the 6'6" UMBC product. We'll be right back on the Big Train Baseball Network, 11-4, as we head to the final 3 outs of this one. For the 6 p.m. game, we're at 9:17, 3 hours and 20 minutes into this one, and Zachary Malvasio will get the last chance of 3 outs remaining for this side of Onley. Winner of this one will reclaim second place in the North in this early season where parity has been quite the thing, except for Gaithersburg. It was kind of just crushed everyone they've played in their closest game, second closest game of the night tonight. Have only lost one time, and every game they've won has been by 2 or more, by the mark of 12, previously the highest. But Big Train finally waking up with arms in the pen. Zachary Malvasia will take on a lineup now at the bottom that he will have a good opportunity for.
And one thing I can say about Malvasio for sure that he's got going for him is he's got a really great first name.
Yeah, he does. Zachary.
Really good one.
Is your full name Zachary?
It is.
Not just Zach Lewis, folks. Zachary Lewis.
As a person who named me sitting in the stands not too far away.
Here comes the first pitch to the likes of Ryan Bouma in his second at-bat. Not too happy with that call. A good breaking ball that goes back door, or front door, excuse me, and touches the back end of the strike zone. 0-1, just outside. The pitch is a firm fastball. The 1-1. Just inside. Again, that fastball, tough to deal with. It's got some movement on it. 2-1. Inside again, the breaker breaks too much. 3-1 the count now. Bouma leading off this order, which needs 7 runs to keep the game alive, as he will watch one at about shin level. Has to back out a little bit, but that will lead Ryan Bouma on to then draw up Logan Barada, who's had a very good night tonight. He's currently 3 for 4. A single, 2 stolen bases, a double, where he scored, and a single with an RBI attached to it. It's just been great for this Onley squad, but not good enough, as they've only scored 4 tonight. They only scored 4 in a 15-4 loss on Sunday. That was an early game, as that one skips away from Gramasty, and the wild pitch ruled will lead the runner to second base.
Big Train have to be careful here. I mean, letting runners get on base and getting past. Really need to try and have a clean game to close this one out. Be a big win for Big Train tonight.
That one just on the low portion of the zone. Good pitch from Malvasia. Runner on second base. This one close to ending, unless 7 will be plated. Of course, baseball, obviously, the eternal game. I really like bringing that up. There's a lot of good documentaries about that, about a specific minor league game played in Connecticut.
How many hours did that minor league game last?
I believe technically, due to a suspension in the game at about 3 in the morning, it lasted 124 hours, because in theory, yes, it got suspended for 2 days, but actual game time was, I believe, about 22 hours. Went to the bottom of the 18th.
Incredible.
3-1. Was a 27-26 game, I remember, somewhere around that in the Indie Ball League, as the 3-1 is a walk. And now run 5, run 6, and run 7 to the plate, as Landon Springmeyer has had not quite the night he's wanted. Last time he came up, he struck out looking and gave some words back to the umpire. Was not happy, or struck out looking, kind of key to that. Was not happy with what got called on a absolutely filthy backdoor slider that just kind of worked its way out. Backdoor and front door is a term used for the side of those strike zones, if you're curious, is where it leaves out of the back door, the door farther away, or the actual horizontal part of the bat, or zone that it is leaving.
And after that call, the umpire having to warn the Cropdusters dugout about any more comments coming from them about the strike zone.
That one just outside the zone, now a 2-0 count. After Barada walks, Springmeyer will have 2 on, no outs, as Nobody warming in the pen just yet, but we may get to that point if things can't get better for Malvasio in his second inning. 2-0. Hitters County's way behind that fastball, which when it touches the zone is a formidable foe for these batters, but has not been too close in this inning. Last time up, he saw a ground out to Avery Green to start it, allowed 2 runners on a hit and a walk, but stranded them on a backwards K. As that one in there, good pitch, fastball. It's on the inside portion of the plate. Definitive strike there as Springmeyer is very far in on the plate, kind of messes up his strike zone. He's not really going to be able to get to something like that. 2-2. Had to be very early, especially against Malvasio. Worked his way back into this one, and this one knocked into the air and under right. Hack settling under it. He'll have it. Runner from second will go. Hack a frozen rope to third, but it is cut off by Machado. And the runner moves up. So he does his job in technicality, but Springmeyer will go down tonight with not the ideal night. 0 for 4, backwards K, and a walk.
1 out down out of 3 for the Big Train, and runners in the corner for the Cropdusters, hoping to bring in a couple more. They want to make it closer. The Big Train needing to close this one out in order to get their first win against the Cropdusters this season.
Now the first pitch to the man behind Springmeyer, Owen McNeil, both of them catchers. These catchers for the squad of Onley have been really mashing the cover off the ball this season. Owen McNeil, obviously, as well as Springmeyer, who hits the ball very hard, just kind of gotten lucky as the 1-0 is fouled backwards and left out of play. In addition to Jimmy Bell, who we haven't seen any of in this third game against the Cropdusters. He is a redshirt freshman after he had a redshirt year at Campbell Camels. He has hit a homer already and has a lot of power. He's 6 feet 200. Excited to see him. Campbell Camel. I mean, it's fun to say. 1-1. Malvasio with corners. As now to 1-2 as he watches strike one down the middle. McNeil, already a good piece of hitting tonight. He had a single that then replaced Wines.
You know what I can say after us having all these players from some smaller schools and JUCOs and community colleges?
What can you say, Zach?
I think their logos are better than the big schools. They're pretty amazing. The Campbell Camels.
That's a D1 school.
D1 school.
Very, very good baseball school in the Carolinas. 2-2. I don't blame you. Not an FBS football school, which I know is kind of the only way you would have seen them because you're a West Coast.
I'm a West Coast guy.
Your FCS schools are like, I literally can't think of a single West Coast. UC Davis.
UC Davis.
Now in the FBS soon, likely. They're expected to go up. 3-2, full count, and he walked him. Close pitch there. All the runners thought he had been struck out as the umpire just kind of waited and never actually called the strike because it's a ball. Bases loaded. McNeil gets a good at-bat there. He's the third walk of the inning and is therefore moved as Avery Green gets another shot at this one. 0 for 4 on the night.
Nevertheless, I feel like my point still stands with the Dolphins, Manatees.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Penguins that we've had alike.
I'm a believer that small D1 schools and big D2 schools are there. You think the University of Tampa, Spartans have a great logo.
Yeah.
These smaller D1s such as Campbell, obviously, Northern Kentucky, UMBC, Jacksonville. They've got the budget to be creative and the need to stand out. The 0-1 skied into the air as the lead to the center fielder, Mirza. Nobody will go. Bases stay loaded, but the second out of the inning as Grain pops out to Mirza.
Yeah, that ball high up into the air and drops actually just behind the second base. Mirza comes and collects, and it's actually in a spot that makes it very difficult and the play too close for the runner to come home.
As we get into this game, remember tomorrow, Big Train take on Metro South County at home against Shirley Povich Field. Then I believe this week, I think on Friday, on the 12th or 13th, it's Pride Night. Come get a Pride Night fan on the giveaway, which I believe is the first. I think it's limited. I don't know how many fans get them, but you should just show up early to figure it out. You don't want to be wrong. 0-1, first pitch to the leadoff man, Zakai Hawkins, is a strike in this bottom of the ninth as that one outside.
Bases loaded for Velasco.
1-1. Malvasio, as this one goes up the middle. Machado collects, over to short, second. Right extinguishes him. 11-4 your final tonight in Onley. Bethesda, 3-3 now on the season, 2 in a row. In their first, not against Silver Spring Tacoma. A good win for them. Cropdusters fall to 2-4. If the Thunderbolts can find their way against Gaithersburg, they will end up tied at the bottom of the North. But we'll be right back here tomorrow night in Shirley Povich Field on this broadcast for a TV broadcast against the top team in the South as they still do battle against Southern Maryland in a 6-4 lead. But winning pitcher tonight will go on the likes of Soler in his first ever appearance for the Big Train, and Landon Edwards of Onley will get the loss. Hold goes to Malvasio. We'll be here tonight, obviously, or tomorrow night, and the rest of the week. Away on Thursday. Home, I believe, for the rest of the weekend into Sunday. We've got a doubleheader against the DC Grays, so a lot of baseball to look forward to on the Big Train Network of the Big Train Baseball Network. I've been Carson Cass with Zach Lewis in the booth. Thank you very much for listening, and good night.